Hey there, NPCs. Welcome to Rules of Cool, where we interview very special guests, creators, gamers, designers, and world builders. I'm your host, Triz, and today we'll be chatting with professional game master, actor, producer, and writer Sarah Moore. We have a fantastic giveaway of a Shadowrun 6 World Core Rulebook PDF. Type hashtag RMPC in the chat for a free entry to win. The drawing will be done at the end of today's episode of Emerald Glitch Duck in a Basket, coming up right after Rules of Cool. You can also get bonus entries by donating bits or subscribing. Every 100 bits will get you a bonus entry, and subscribing gives you 7 whole bonus entries. In Realm Alternis news, if you are looking for all natural soaps, lotions, potions, and more exciting alchemical wonders, look no further than Pure Alchemy Soaps. Specializing in handcrafted RPG themed soaps with unique fragrances that perfectly encompass who your character is in any campaign. Check out the link in the chat below to get your own right after this. Persephone is now available on BackerKit Pledge Manager for pre-order. The prolific science fiction author Kevin J. Anderson has teamed up with film producer Jeffrey Morris to bring you this story of space travel and human survival. Check it out now to get your copy and other awesome rewards. Embark on a nostalgic journey with Dear Pen Pal Belgium 1980, a captivating Kickstarter project by award-winning author Jennifer Brozek. Immerse yourself in 24 heartfelt letters mailed to your home and penned by a fictionalized 10-year-old Jennifer navigating the challenges of a Belgian school in another country, all while maintaining a vivid imagination and befriending a ghostly companion. Follow the project to get notified on launch by clicking the link in chat right after this. But now, time to get right into our conversation for this week. Stay tuned, NPCs. Let me get you unmuted and
Hello.
hey there. Welcome back, NPCs, and welcome to Sarah Moore.
Hi. Thanks for having me on.
No, absolutely. It's great having you on. Great to actually finally meet you as much as we possibly can.
I have just forever been a faceless void behind your email.
See, it's always just been if I see your name and it's direct to me, I could only ever assume, oops, I'm in trouble.
Yeah, I'm sorry. It's
No.
yeah, the direct to you is usually like a hey, we haven't gotten the thing I need from you yet. Poke poke. So
No, that's completely fair. I promise that view has completely changed.
oh good. Oh, whew. I try not to be like the person that when you see their name, there's like that little thrill of like, oh God, what did I forget? I'd rather have it be like, oh, this will be a fun thing. So fingers crossed.
Just through emails, it's always, kind of difficult to figure out exactly what somebody means by something
Sure.
and how they
Sure.
mean. Well,
Well, I always mean it in the nicest way possible, whatever it is I've said. I promise.
no, I don't doubt it. There's only so much love that you can put in a sincerely or best.
Correct.
And I wish that you could fit more in there.
Yeah.
I wish that I could, because I know that I probably can type pretty sassy. Not necessarily to you specifically, but goodness, I throw in exclamation marks at the end of every sentence.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm a very I do a lot of exclamation points. Like it's like every sentence that I'm sending has jazz hands. Like it's like uh,
No periods. It
do the
looks too
thing, give me
serious.
the stuff. Yeah, just too serious. Like there's definitely recently where I'm like, this is a professional email. I can't have 13 exclamation points. I should go back and make some of them periods. But I'm like, but what do you de-emphasize? It all seems important. So
It all seems important, and I don't want them to think that I'm mad about it.
right. If I send a period, what if they think I'm mad at them? I'm not. Exclamation points forever.
Thank you. I'm glad that I'm not alone on that one.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
starting off the show, as we always like to start the show with, what is your history as a gamer?
Woof. It's a long one.
No, I looked a little bit.
Yeah, I've been gaming for a really long time. I actually got into tabletop gaming later. I didn't start until I was in college, and my now husband introduced me to it. And the very first thing I ever played was a Star Wars RPG. It was the D6 version. Um, and it was like a very early date of ours. It was like a maybe third or fourth date kind of a thing. And it ended up being like an overnight, like there was a group of us and we started at like 6 p.m. and then I didn't go home until like 4 a.m. and kind of never stopped playing after that. Star Wars was my entrance because I'm a big Star Wars fan. I have a Star Wars tattoo. Like there's a lot of Princess Leia is my favorite forever. Um, and so that seemed like, he was like, this is how we get her. Like if we just give her a lightsaber, it's gonna be great. Um, and now I play games for a living, which is pretty dope. like it. But that's where I started. My brother used to play D&D. He is 4 years older and he used to play D&D at home, but I was not allowed to play with him because it was him and his friends. And so apparently my revenge was that now it is my job. Haha, I
No, that's
played the long game.
you did just drop one of the most romantic stories that I've ever heard.
Good one.
That sounds amazing. I
Do
need
do
to
you
know what
want
the
to
first
hear
3 dates
something
were.
even more romantic and ridiculous? So after that, right, we were dating for maybe 2 months. And then I went to Ireland to work in Dublin for 3 months. And I got on the plane and I thought, that guy was nice, but I don't think anything's going to come of that because I'm leaving now and then I'm going to go back to college. And like, that's a shame. Um, and I landed at Heathrow International Airport and it was long enough ago that like it was not a text situation. I had an email from him when I landed and then we wrote letters to each other. And then he picked me up from the airport when I got back into the States and he never left. And now we have 2 kids.
That
It's going to
is
be
so
like,
adorable.
it's going to be like 20 years this year, I think 20 years. So
I love that so much. You said that was 4th date though?
Third or fourth date. Yeah. The big long overnight.
Fair, fair. Well, I just have
Yeah.
to know what the first 3 were they just like kind of generic and then he just like drops
Yeah. So we
down?
did early dates were I mean we were very poor. We were poor college students. And there was like a 1950s diner that was by our house and we used to go get like vanilla fountain cokes and like a thing of fries and we would just sit and talk and that was our early dates. Um yeah.
That is
We're
so cute.
we're so cute.
I get it why you got to the 4th one.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, it's just good stuff, We'll take it. And then we gamed forever and we introduced our kids to gaming early and like still game with them when they allow it. They are teenagers now. They don't really want to hang out with us as
No, no,
much.
your parents aren't supposed to be cool for like a couple of years.
They're
It's
not.
a thing.
They use us for the clout, but they do
That's
not.
honestly a good bonus.
They don't want to hang. They don't want to like game with us. But like especially my 18-year-old, it's a big name dropper of like, oh yeah, my mom works with and like will name gaming luminaries. And I'm like, all right. We don't need to.
Be like,
Nobody
either
likes that.
either we play sometimes together at home, or you have to stop doing that.
Just stop. Come on. Yeah.
Well, going off into a minor offshoot,
Sure.
um, how did you first get into acting?
Oh, I mean, I've been doing that my whole life. Like, I know it's going to come as a shock to everyone watching this, but I am a dramatic person. So I do a lot. I started really early. Like, I started doing like school plays when I was in like second grade. And then I just kind of like continued on and always, sang a lot and did a lot of performances. I went to college for acting. Um, and and then kind of decided that I didn't want to do on stage work. Like, there's
I see
something about
exactly what you
doing
mean.
like an show a week kind of, it's just a grind, and it's hard, and it's hard. And as much as I do love performing, I think it's difficult to keep that kind of schedule and have kids, and my partner and I really wanted to start a family and do it when we were both young, and like I'm really happy that we did it that way. And so I kind of shifted. We started doing short films. We had our own company that we had done things with, and then I just kind of started wiggling my way into other people's projects and just never left. I just like just slowly kind of like eke my way in, and then I'm just like, hey, I'm here now, and maybe you put me in all your stuff. um and that's been working out for me.
No,
So
that's fair. Well, plus on top
take
of
it.
everything that you told me before, which we can get into a little bit
Yeah.
at a later question. It seems like you've definitely found um a way to get around all of that scheduling mess that can happen
Yeah.
as a former theater kid myself.
Yeah, I mean, just like the thought of now doing a show where you have to go in and you put in like 5 days a week for 6 weeks for rehearsal for potentially only, three live shows. Like, if you don't end up getting picked up, like it's rough. And I didn't want to be away from home that much with what was going on with family and all that stuff. So I sort of shifted over into filming, which can also be kind of a grueling schedule, but it's much shorter generally, and then you're done and you can come back home, and like all of the long post work happens without me because I'm very bad at technology, so I'm not a part of that part. But yeah, so then sort of doing that, but I use my acting now, I think, most often for gaming and gaming and streaming, and I will every so often I will sing in a bar, and that'll be fun too.
I'm only finding more and more things in common right now.
Yeah,
Because
awesome.
I'm also big on the karaoke. Uh,
Ah,
Too bad I only know like a handful of songs.
So just all you need for karaoke. You just need a couple of go-tos. What is your go-to karaoke song?
I can't talk about it right now.
No. Oh.
It's a duet, and it is I can't, I can't bring it up. Listen, Bree, I'm not the interviewee here. Thank you very much.
Listen, I sometimes will steamroll if you don't stop me. So
No, you're good. You're good. No, no, it's a good
wait,
question.
okay.
If I just didn't have a very
I
particular answer,
understand. All right, that's fair. That's fair.
it's okay. It wouldn't be known. It wouldn't be known. It's fine.
All right. All
Um,
right. Find out
okay.
later.
Yeah.
I'm persistent and I will find out later, but it doesn't have to be on camera.
Ask me later. See if you can break me down over the course of
God, I can do
the
it.
next hour or so.
Just slip it in. It's like a little question grenade that I just put out and then I wait and then it'll go off later.
Well, since you were able to beautifully tie your two worlds together, that being gaming and acting
Yeah.
within the TV series, which I also saw another name in the credits for it.
Oh.
Can you tell us a little bit about what role you played in Gamer Chick?
Okay, check. Yeah, I wrote that. I wrote it and I acted in it, and then my partner directed it. And I basically was like, "What if I get all of my friends together and we just do a thing?" And it was in the early days of web series, like a very very early days. And they always are like, "Write what you know." Um, and so I mean, the people who were acting in it were our weekly gaming group. It was all of my friends who already were playing D&D, and I was able to take some things directly from our table. Like there was definitely moments of like people being like, like there was a throwaway joke about how somebody couldn't identify a D12 for like 6 months, and it's like true, because whoever uses it, like you use it every once in a while, but like
I can't
had to
think of a
keep
single
reminding
spell.
somebody. Yeah, you have to remind stuff, and so like we really got together. And that show was like a love letter to my gaming group and my friends, and just really like being we did it sort of half in around the table and then half in the fantasy world of the fictional game that we had come up with. Um, and I loved getting to play her. And we did several seasons, and every year it was like just like putting on my favorite coat, like just slipped right on and was able to kind of be her again. And she's sort of me dialed up to 11, really, which
I didn't
is
know it went
which
past
is
10.
nice. Oh, it do, yeah, it gets up there. It was really fun, and we were able to make it on like the shoestring budgets. It was so like it was like $8, and like I had to, like season one, we were like, what if you buy us some pizzas? Like mom, like my mother helped like cater, and like another person, the person who played my best friend in the series, her mom was very good at sewing and made our costumes, and like it was a very like everybody is coming together, and like you bring the drinks this time because that is the kind of money that we have at this moment. It was really great fun, and I loved it. I had more story to tell there, but then we all started having babies, and it got
A
it
little
got
bit
more
difficult to time
complicated.
out.
Yeah, it got rough, timing wise. But I actually started for NaNoWriMo maybe last year or the year before. I started a novelization of in world in the game, sort of that fantasy world. So
Mm.
that maybe will come out at some point. We'll see. It's too many pages long, and I'm very precious about not wanting to cut things. So I have, I have too
Seems
much.
similar to another conversation that we had,
I
but
have too many things to say.
it's okay.
Sorry.
Well, no one ever said that you can only have so many, but a trilogy is just a suggestion, I'm sure.
That's true. Yeah, it could be more than one book. I was like, this seems like all one book. And my partner was like, it is not. Look at how long it is. I was like, you're all
This is
right.
a dictionary.
This is oh, the sword. This is too long. This is like a set of encyclopedias. You've done too much. Dial it back. Sorry.
This, I think that's a really well fleshed out world. That's all I'm
Nice.
hearing.
Yeah, it's really fleshed out. I actually turned part of it into a setting, but it didn't end up publishing it. But it could potentially use some of that groundwork that I laid for like something else. Like maybe I use it in one of the other games that I am working on, and just kind of draw pieces from it. Who knows?
If it had to be its own thing, what would you call it though? Because I know that I know your other projects currently. What
Yeah.
would you call it?
So in the actual show, the game was called Free, Free, Fairy fairy ranger elf enlightenment, and they were like a resistance cell, um, because there was a civil war going on between the three, and so the three races, and so they were like a cell that was trying to like disrupt that, and that was the thing. We didn't spend a ton of time in the politics of it, but I did a lot of the backstory work because I couldn't help myself, because I took a lot of dramaturgy classes in high school and college, so just
No, I
just keeps
absolutely.
coming out. It's like, what if I need it? What if this is important stuff?
I mean, the thing is, as far as players go, they're always going to do the thing that you least expect. So if you cover everything that they could possibly do, then it's a seamless story.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
like a choose your
Well,
own adventure, except it has every possibility.
except I've checked it all. Yeah, I've chosen all the adventures for you, and now you can just bop between them. They're all fleshed out.
That sounds insane to
Yeah,
put together.
yeah.
I'm glad that you have so much passion for it, though.
A
I love hearing about that.
lot. It's a lot.
Well, and obviously, by part of that, we know that you've also done tons of work in producing and writing. If you have to say, do you prefer being behind or in front of the camera?
Oh, 100% of the time, I would rather be in front of the camera. I am good at producing, but like, it is not my favorite thing to do in the world. I'm good at it. I'm good at spreadsheets, and I'm good at wrangling talent, and I'm good at um, scheduling and doing all of that stuff. I everybody teases me that my love language is to-do lists, because I have a lot of them. And I have like a clipboard system because I have several jobs. So to keep them all straight, everything is color coded, and there's different clipboards and all of the things, and I'm good at it. Um, but like being on camera and performing and being able to like connect with an audience, especially like a live audience, like is where my joy comes from. Like I just really love feeling that energy. And so sometimes, especially when you are uh, streaming a game and you're not feeling the energy from the audience specifically, like I'm getting that off of my players, and I'm able to sort of use that to kind of feel that. And then when I do these at conventions and there's an audience, and I can like really hold that, it's like this sort of feeling in the room where you can like feel it on your skin, when people are like in it. And I just think that's really cool, and that's the thing that I love. I will get paid infinitely more money to produce the things. And that is going
It's
to
not
fund
always
my
about the
habit.
money, but I
But
also fully
that's,
understand.
yeah, that's going to fund my habit of being like, I'm going to get out here and I'm going to do this silly game with puppets where I do something inappropriate with a stone and a dragon. That is what happened at the last Gen Con I was at. I did
Oh
a
no.
Perception Studio game, and I ended the session by shoving a stone that I had stolen out of a doorway. Like I collapsed a doorway by taking the keystone, and then I rubbed it on spores that would make a dragon sleepy, and then I shoved it right up his butt. And that is how we win D&D, ladies and gentlemen.
That's how you break your game master.
Yeah, I did break him. He did break. Yeah. Um,
You make it sound
but
like it
like,
wasn't your fault.
I was not the only one that was contributing to the shenanigans. To be fair, there were three puppets there as well. I may have been
No,
the
that's.
most chaotic one at the table. I don't know. Listen, I had a great
I'm not coming
time.
at you.
The audience enjoyed it, and then they asked me back, so I feel good about it.
No. I listen. Even just the night before, during my own personal D&D session that's not streamed or anything,
Mhm,
I
mhm.
I had I had the game master get just angry, just like, shut up, it's not your turn anymore. And I was like, I
You have to be
won.
done now. All done.
I was like, good, I won then.
Yeah, we were counting how often he face palmed, how often he was just like, oh God, what do I like? I saw him question his life choices. Why did I come here? Why am I here? Why did I make these choices to be here with these puppets and these people? And I was like, I kept account. It felt important.
No, no, those are points. You're just tracking points. I understand that.
I'm just tracking them. I felt like I won. I know you can't win D&D, but it felt like I won.
I beg to differ. I think you're on the right track.
Apparently Bree was there and got to see it. Hi, Bree.
No, absolutely fair. I need to stop by. I need to actually find some time to rip away and check it out.
Heck yeah.
During my day, I didn't know what to do. I all I did was I think I ended up sleeping in too long because the night before ran late.
Mm.
And then I just wandered, which was a great time at Gen Con. It's a fantastic time to just
It's
wander.
so big. Like you can't it's too big to all take in one day, you know, like so I get if you don't have a plan, if you don't have someone with a like a clipboard and a to-do list, you might not
I did for the other
get to see a lot
days.
of things. All right, all
So
right.
I was cool on that
So
one.
you were allowing yourself to not have those things on
Mhm.
your rest day. All right. I
I
mean, I
planned for the
guess
not planning.
all right. That would make me so anxious.
I was having a great just
I love that.
covering as much of the selling floor as possible.
Yeah, I'll just wander over this direction. I'll wander over here. Yeah,
Try not to
sounds
hit
great.
the same place twice as much as you can, but cool set of dice. Oh, I might come back for that, and
I'd
then
have to come back.
then you remember it the next day, and then you panic, and then you run back to the convention center before everything shuts down.
Yeah,
Um,
uh,
but
that sounds super relaxing. We love that for us. It's a good journey.
well, after talking about causing your game masters a little bit of
Yeah,
frustration,
yeah.
how long have you been running games professionally?
Oh, professionally, probably maybe 5-ish years. I have been GMing for longer than that, just for like home tables and stuff. But I think I started getting paid for it maybe 5 years ago. Um, and then, yeah, so I work with a company in Chicago called Rough Magic, and I've been doing that for a couple of years. And we're just DMs for hire. You can come in and you can either come to one of our events where you are we do a lot of them called Drinkings and Dragons in the city of Chicago, and they're at bars all over the place. And you can come in and just pick a table. Um, we also will run campaigns either in person or online, like a monthly campaign. You can write in and be like, hey, I'm really interested in doing this kind of a campaign, and they'll match you with a game master, and you can do that. Um, and then I also run games at conventions for Peter Atkinson and World of Chaldea. We do like exhibition games and stuff, and I have also run things for him online for
Mhm.
many years. So yeah, the transition was really just me being like, I'm doing this all a lot. What if somebody paid me to do it? I would love that. Um,
Well, and that's how
and
you make
yeah,
it professional.
correct. It counts because I am drawing an income. And like I run a ton of D&D in my day, just like so much D&D. Because I feel like that's what most people want. It's the most accessible, right? Like 5e especially is very user friendly and people can kind of get in and pick up and play. And it's very easy to explain. Like you could not sit down at a Pathfinder game, for example, and
I
be
tried.
entry level, and it's really complicated, you know. Then there are some games that are very crunchy, like I'm in a Burning Wheel campaign right now that like it's
I
crunch-tastic.
had to
Like I
study for
yeah,
Shadowrun. I
you
understand.
do. Absolutely. You have to like there are some games that are like part of playing this game is figuring out how to play it. And and so I since I've read a ton of D&D and I could do it with zero prep. Like, let's go. I ran a game last night with no prep for Perception Studio. They were like, "Can you come in and do this?" And I was like, well, "Okay." And just came in and did it. But I also decided on my show on Sarah's Table that I was going to focus on games that are by indie designers or small publishers because they just don't have the oomph behind them that a WotC dollar can give you, right? So like last year on Sarah's Table, last calendar year, I ran 35 different systems. Um, and my brain was really tired at the end of the year, but I got to discover some really beautiful gems of games that like you probably wouldn't have access to if every time you meet for your game night you're like D&D though, right? Like
Mhm.
D&D. And there's nothing wrong with D&D if that is your jam. Hey, folks at home, if that is what you want to do, like I'm totally not putting you down at all. Like I've had many a wonderful experience with D&D, but I just feel like some of these smaller games, you're able to tell stories that are not as focused on all of the cool monster combats that you can have in D&D. Um, yeah, and I've gotten to tell some really cool stories, some very like queer focused stories, and some very like there's sometimes that I'm like, boy, the world is gross right now. And I just want to like be a tiny mouse in a Victorian dress in a field. And I would like to solve a cute little mystery. And that is what I want. And like, you can find a game like that. You can find any scenario and be like, this is what I want. And there is a game for it. So that's kind of how I try to do it. And
No,
that's where we're at.
absolutely. I mean, whenever they don't have to be nearly as profit focused as a lot of these large companies do have to be, they have tons of people to pay. Absolutely.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
They don't have to make it as accessible, and that they can just hammer in on a niche, and that if it's your niche, then it's exactly what you need.
Yeah,
Because
and it's so good. It's so good. But maybe the weirdest game that I played last year was one of my Christmas games, and it was by Grant Howitt, who's written 10,000 games. Has probably written one during this interview. Like there's so many games, so many one-page RPGs, and he wrote a game called A Very Northern Christmas, and in it, everyone at the table plays a different version of Sean Bean who is trying to survive to the end of the Netflix special to break the curse that was placed on him by a witch years ago that kills him over and over and over again.
I
Yeah.
I I I I genuinely don't even know what to say to that.
Yeah.
That is
It was
a very
wild.
focused niche.
It was very focused. It was so wild. And like one of my players at our bio break texted me and was like, I don't think I know. Am I playing this game right? What am I doing? We had a lot of fun. We laughed a ton, but like it's just sort of like so funny and weird little games. And the amount of times that you've been like talking with a friend and you make some offhanded joke, that's probably a game somewhere. So like you just keep at it. Yeah, that was maybe the weirdest one that I did last year.
No,
Yeah.
that's absolutely fair. I see. I've gotten to a few of the slightly more niche games, but usually just like standard tabletop, not necessarily RPG type.
Okay.
But normally like a card game. But I
Hmm.
cannot say that I have gotten quite that niche. I
No.
can't wait to though. You're gonna have to show me a
Yeah.
couple places at
Yeah,
Gen Con.
I would gladly show you some of the weirdness. Like you give me I feel good about knowing that I love that I'm the person that people are like, "Hey, I'm really into this thing." is there a game about that? Can you find me an RPG about that? I'm like, yeah, I can. I'm gonna find it for you. Um, so if you're feeling a thing, if you're like, boy, you know what would be rad? This concept. I'll get you something.
Got it. Got it. Okay.
Good.
Well, we'll talk a little bit more about I think the furthest that I've gotten is rowing that doesn't get too much is like there's a whole game about throwing a burrito at each other there or
Oh,
like a little
sure.
stuffed burrito. I know that
Yep.
that one's more accessible now, but that was
Yep.
whenever it was I was really feeling the cute and quirky. And then from then that was like, hey, not every game has to be, you know,
Not
so
every game.
streamlined.
Yeah. I love a. I'm usually not a big party game person. Like when it comes to like board game stuff, but we love here in the Moore household. We really love all the incarnations of Sushi Go. I don't know if you have ever played Sushi Go, but you were
I know I've heard
literally
of it.
you're just like collecting different kinds of sushi and you're like making there it's a card game and you are supposed to collect sets of them and it's fast and it you know you can like pass it around and get things going and it's just really cute and like also for the longest time we were searching for games that would be accessible for our kids too so that because they played board games with us a ton and so um should we so if you're looking for like a it is the little bit more mainstream now but not super mainstream like it is not Monopoly right
Right.
like it's not your classic we're going to play Monopoly or the game of life or whatever like Sushi Go I think is an excellent sort of entry point into more niche games. It's the gateway. It's the marijuana
It's like the step
of
beyond
board
here to
games.
slay.
Yeah, just past it. Just just past.
Well, since you've already kind of talked a little bit about rough magic, um,
Yeah.
moving on from that, how did you first get involved with Gen Con? I
Okay.
don't know if you already explained it just a little bit.
This is
I'm
a
pretty sure
great
you touched it.
story and uh it's gonna make it sound like I drink too much, but I don't. And so I need to preface the story with this. Several years ago, maybe almost 10 years ago now, um, I entered a raffle to play Fiasco with the owner of Gen Con. Put myself, wrote my name on a slip of paper, dropped it in there. Got chosen. Uh, got a call while I was standing in the X Hall, and they were like, hey, come on up. We're going to have you play. You've been chosen. You're going to play Fiasco with Peter Atkinson, who's the owner of Gen Con. You're going to play it in his suite, um, and he's going to buy you lunch. And I was like, rad. And I went up there, and it was me and Peter and two big dudes, and everybody was drinking mimosas. And I am not a big dude. I'm very small. And you can't tell because of how large my presence is here on the screen, but I'm little, and I was keeping up with them, and I should not have
No, that's
done that.
never
I
a good idea.
should not have done that. And I was real drunk by the end of it. I was really drunk. And afterwards, it was a lovely game. And afterwards, Peter was like, I have sort of decided that I want to be a filmmaker. And and so I went to school. I went to like a 6 month intensive like film school kind of program, and I'm getting ready to shoot my first film. And I was drunk, and I was like, I'm an actress. You should cast me. Here's my card. And then I halfway home because I'm close enough to Gen Con because I live in Chicago, close enough to Gen Con that I could we could get there by car. My partner was driving. I was not. It's very important. I like sobered up enough to be like, ooh, that was not
Not the time.
that is not how I should have done that. um And I got an email from him that was like, "Hey, it was so nice to meet you. It's fully cast. So sorry. I'll keep you in mind for future projects." And I was like, "Well, that was very nice, but clearly not." And then I ended up in Seattle to visit a friend randomly, and I decided to shoot my shot. And I emailed him back and was like, "I'm going to be in Seattle." And he was like, "Let's go have lunch." And we ended up. He took me to lunch at a martini bar.
I'm sensing a
And
theme.
yeah, and halfway through the lunch, I realized that it was a job interview, and I had had too much wine, and I was like, "What is happening?" Anyway, by the end of that lunch, I was hired. He had hired me to come on and be an actress in his current project, which is World of Chaldea. Um, and then I just started sort of took more and more stuff. I just was like, "I'm also good. Hey, I'm also good at this." And he was like, "How about I pay you to do that then?" And I was like, "Cool." And I just kind of like kept doing stuff, and then I handle his stuff at conventions, and then I became a sort of face of Gen Con TV for a lot of stuff, and just kept doing it. Yeah, Brie, drunk Sarah did sort of nail it. You know what? Good for her. I like her. Good job, drunk Sarah. You did it. I don't feel like I should bring her out. Maybe she's too powerful. Like I shouldn't bring her out too often.
You might end
Who
up with
knows?
3 jobs by
Well,
the end of the
I
day.
can't. I don't want any more jobs. All done. Calm down, drunk Sarah. Drunk Sarah does feel like she could probably do a lot of things. Like she's got that gay audacity, and she's like, I could just do it. I can just whatever you need me to do. I got it.
How many titles do I get at the end of this?
Well, what else you got for me?
Let's go. Let's go.
What needs doing? Let's do it.
I'll take your job, Peter.
Yeah, what's your job? Get out of here. Step aside. I'm probably good at it.
Oh my goodness. I love
Dad,
it.
we don't let her out. She's done too much.
Well, at the actual convention, what
Yes.
was one of your favorite experiences if you had to nail one down?
Oh my gosh. Like just over the years?
Over the years, or if you gotta pin down a certain, year to not make anybody feel bad, I understand.
That's fair. That's fair. Um, I I really think that mm, 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 mm. So Gen Con 50 was very cool. We had the the museum that we set up in the stadium across the street, and it was like really really cool. Um, but I have gotten to play at conventions. I have gotten to play games just like with really important people that like are not, and it's not streamed or in front of an audience or anything, and I've gotten to just like pick people's brains about games and how D&D has like shaped their lives, and I've gotten to like have these quiet conversations with people, and um yeah, I just feel like super lucky, and I come out of conventions always being like, that was wild. Like I did you see that? I got to do that. Did you like what happened? How did I end up here? Like 13-year-old Sarah would think I'm so cool. Um
No, I see what you mean. Most of the cool interactions that I've had have been either recorded or streamed. So I and normally it's them coming in, just coming from something else, and then having to
mhm.
go to something else. So I being able to have those interactions, I fully understand because I'm still looking to
Super
be able to secure
cool.
those.
Yeah, there's it's really cool. I think I have been so grateful that I have been in like Peter's orbit for as long as I have now. Because I have met just such amazing people, and I get like halfway through a conversation with them, and then I'm like, oh wait,
Your
this is why your name sounds really familiar. It's because it's on the books behind me on my shelf all the time. What? Um, yeah.
Oh no, no, I've only I haven't been in the nerd sphere as long as a lot of other folks, but
Sure.
I still have my nerddoms that I've had since I was, real little.
Yeah.
And meeting I've met a couple of them now from whenever I was real little in those really early nerddoms,
Mm-hmm.
and those moments are like Christmas times 20 easily.
For sure. Yeah.
And I'm envious that you have gotten those one-on-ones, or maybe not one-on-ones, but you know
Yeah. Peter's generally there.
not non-recorded times.
Yeah. It's been such a cool, like, and everybody is so gracious, and like that's been really nice to see too, is that, like, while I was in the process of my business partner and I were designing this game that I'm getting ready to release. And like I was talking to Luke Crane, who did Burning Wheel, and I was like, he was like, "Hey Sarah, how are you?" And I was like, "I'm getting ready to release my game." And he was like, "I would love to look at it." And I was like, "What?" Like, really? You want? Would you like? I can get you a copy. That would be great.
It's
Like,
yours. You
you
can
know,
have it.
you can just have it. Take this one. It's got all my notes in it, but just like take it. It's just really, it's really cool, to be able to know that people are supportive. Like, this community is really supportive of each other. Like, even the people that you're like, you name a game that is synonymous with its creator, and like they feel like they are inaccessible people, but they're not. Like, they're really, there is room for everybody's ideas and everybody's games, and they like want you to succeed. And I think that's cool. Like,
No, absolutely. Well,
it
plus
makes me really happy.
you kind of already went through the route to kind of be in the same club. You're like, we do
Yeah,
the same thing now.
there's a little like room where it happened kind of Hamilton moment, like really weird.
This is the
Yeah.
room where it happened.
Yeah, I can't rap so much. I'm pretty white, but
No,
I watch it. Good. I'm good at watching
I
musical
promise it's
theater.
not just, the word doc in front of me shining light. I am this white.
It's just pale. It's real pale. It's all right.
What's the sun? So we all so we know that you were involved in a successful Kickstarter for The Crown.
Yeah.
I read over a little bit of it, and I love the whole godhood type theme. Can you tell us a little bit about that world?
Yeah. So it was Damon Van Hees' brainchild. He is my partner in all of this. And it started as a NaNoWriMo project like 7 years ago, where he was like, I have this idea for these gods, and he started writing it and ended up being like, I think this is a game instead. And we sort of slowly transitioned into it being a game, and it started as a game setting, and then we couldn't find a thing that we really fit with. It didn't go with any of the other games that were already there, and so we built a system, and it was a long time coming. But in this world, you play a god of a small sliver of reality. And so, like, when I play the game, I play the god of joy, and that is my god. She's adorable and rainbow colored. Surprise. um
Oh, what?
and
You like
well, I
rainbows?
know it's weird. It's a really off brand for me. But also in our party, we have like the god of sandwiches, and we have the god of cinnamon, and the god of nostalgia, and the god of packaging, and like any little bit you find it. And then all of your magic that you have is all based around that thing. And so, and not that you can't do damage with it. You are a god. You are very powerful. You could absolutely, like, there is a wonder. We don't do spells. We do wonders. There's a wonder called Incarnate, where you just manifest your purview so powerfully around you that it damages everyone around you. And so, like, I make everyone so happy around me that they like break. Like they like you if I need that to get out of a situation, I inflict damage by making them too joyful. Um
I
yeah,
know that
it's wild.
you can either take that as incredibly sweet or almost disturbing, and
Just
I love both
terrifying.
ways.
Yeah, so scary. Yeah. And so there are a lot of elements of like a horror and body horror in it, but the idea is you are a god, and how will that affect you, and how will you use it in the world around you, and like how does it change you? um because as a god you're functionally immortal, right? You don't die, you can't die, you are here forever.
Mhm.
I mean, there are death mechanics should you want to, but you choose it.
I could only assume that it would be from the media that I've seen before, something tied to like making worshippers or something lose faith in you. Is that I could
Yeah,
only assume.
but like you could, right? So you continue as a god whether you have people worshiping you or not. There are still gods in the city left over from like technology and things that aren't used anymore. There are gods there that are of animals that have gone extinct, and like that's actually a really tragic thing for you to happen because you can't die, but everything that you are, that you love, the thing that made you who you are is gone. And so if you want to tell a story that is really poignant and sort of heartbreaking, you have that at your disposal. You can also tell a silly, madcap, slapsticky, shenanigan filled story if that is what you want, right? Like we've definitely run like we need something lighter. So we like here's four gods babysit this baby. It is also a god. It's gonna like break into like it manifested itself. It was like out of ladybugs, but it was an infant, and it like kept breaking into 1,000 ladybugs and like reassembling somewhere else, and they had to like figure everybody
That
has
sounds insane.
everybody has things. It ended up in the wall at one point. I don't know. um but like it can be really lighthearted, but you can tell really deep, scary, or like really sad stories if you want. It sort of transcends genre, which I know sounds really sort of pretentious.
So
About the
I
game.
really don't think so. I think in the sense of like it not having just in D&D, if you're not playing a hero, then you're actively fighting against the rest of your team.
Sure. Yeah.
If you try to play a good guy in Shadowrun, you're gonna
It's
stand out like a
hard.
sore thumb.
It's rough.
Yeah,
Yeah. Yeah.
and with that being able to change so incredibly drastically,
Yeah.
it's I think that you're right on point with it.
It's a really fun game, and
Mm.
everyone should buy it as soon as it's available. So soon. So soon. We're waiting. We're waiting. The proof has been shipped from the printer, and we just want to double check to make sure that it printed well, and then it's going to be available. I'm so excited. Everybody buy it.
And that was through formerly Feral, right?
Yes, formerly
Okay.
Feral
Okay.
Games is essentially Damon and I. We are it's just the two of us plugging away. My partner was the layout artist for the book, and then we had uh, a single artist, Tanel Levitt, who
Mhm.
does a lot of work here on Gen Con
Oh,
TV. She was our artist. Her work is beautiful, and it is a beautiful book. And then also Damon's sister was our editor, so it was very very
very
focused.
close together. No, I
Just
love that.
yeah, just the five of us. But the bulk of the work, I mean, Damon did most of the writing, and the bulk of the work of the development was the two of us who developed it together. So I'm very
It
tired.
no, it looks amazing. I
Thank you
love that.
so much. Yeah,
Just from
it's
the little
lovely.
snippet that I got to go through, but I've only recently been actually going through and splurging on myself as far as new games go because I finally
Mm.
found a good little niche of people
Oh,
that actually enjoy
yay.
playing games and can actually reliably get together, even with my
That's great.
stupid schedule.
Scheduling is the ultimate BBEG
Mm-hmm.
for RPGs, truly.
It has been the cause of over what 7 TPKs I think
Yeah,
for me.
why do we have to be adults with jobs and responsibilities? Like, what is that about? So stupid.
Like, come on. Like, you can just tell them that you'll be in tomorrow and you'll do double the work.
I know. Just don't go in. Just go. What if you just call off? Like, it's fine.
Well, as we're getting closer to the end of the hour, I do want to get the last little bit because I
Yeah.
know that I want to hear a
Told you
little
I
bit.
talk too much.
You know,
Told
you are
you.
all good. I love it. I love it. Um, so we've already talked about the crown. So,
Yeah.
as far what was your role in the creation of the Vanishing Lands, and what can we expect to kind of see about the setting,
Yeah, so the
without
Vanishing
spoiling?
Lands was made by my partner and husband. And the idea of it was, where do those lands go when they have vanished? So like Atlantis and Brigadoon and Roanoke and those things that like disappear from the world. Where do they go? And so all those places of legend, Shangri-La, all of that, we thought, what if they all show up in the same spot in the Vanishing Lands? And then he and I had a lot of conversations about it, and we did a lot of play testing of setting and stuff in our home group with our normal D&D group. Um, but we have worked out a system where you build as a group, as a table, you build your land that has vanished, and then you build your characters within it, and then you have as many adventures as you want. And the cool thing about the Vanishing Lands is that you can have, again, any genre you want, with any tech level that you want, because you have essentially just like picked it up and then put it somewhere else. So you could have put like 1920s jazz clubs from Chicago, next to like a medieval castle. And so you have all of these things, and magic is real in this place. And what happens to you and your party when you wake up not where you have lived your whole life? And did you leave anybody behind? And how does that affect you? And did you wake up with magic and not have it prior to it? And so like there's all of these stories that you can kind of tell in a lot of fish out of water kind of stories, and like figuring out who you are in this new place. And I did some microfiction to be put in the setting. I did a ton of play testing. I have done a lot of like help with world development, of like sit down and like let's talk through what we have here. It's been really cool. Very weird to be developing two games sort of side by side, because one is very like has a lore that is built in.
Mhm.
The Crown has very built in lore. Like it's got so much already baked into the system. And this one that has sort of like whatever lore you want. Like what lore do you want? Like, and then you can kind of put it in that system. It's been very very interesting.
Kind of more like building a
Put them
template
together.
than building the actual history.
Yeah, and I mean we had one that was an early playtest, was a literally like pirates on a ship, but they were witches in this world that were like getting their power from something else. And so I had like a literal sea witch that was a pirate captain, and we got into a huge like pirate battle on the high seas. And then also several sessions later, we were building a new thing and trying to figure out who we were going to be to test the limits of the system. And it was a LARP battlefield that had gotten transplanted into a world where a very dangerous world, and so they all had like paper armor because it was a LARP. And so like,
Excuse
then
me, can I
they
get the
showed
stat
up.
block on a foam sword, please?
Yeah, it absolutely, it was like that. Their weapons, right? Like they couldn't have pyrotechnics because their body was their all everything was like paper mache armor. And so they had like a couple of people who had specialized in the pyrotechnics, and like that was it. Like you have fake weapons and paper armor, and now you're in this place with like so like real danger.
Sorry, I
Um
just saw 2d6 stun.
yeah,
Um,
yeah. But like also there was a one of the things you establish is like a truth about the world, and the truth for that one was no one dies on the battlefield, because it was just like a hey, nobody actually dies on the battlefield. This is a LARP. No one's actually dying here. But it became so ingrained that the magic when they passed was that no one could actually die if they were within the confines of the battlefield that had gotten transported. And so
oh, I
you knew you were
love.
safe if you could get back. Something big is chasing you, but you need to just get yourself back to that battlefield and you were going to be okay. Yeah. So just like a lot of fun, quirky little things that you can use on it. So
I love I love it whenever magic acts like that in fiction. I
yeah.
just being able to just take interpretations of things, and especially I don't know why, but whenever you call it a rule, I don't know why for me it's like, oh, okay, this thing is absolute, like that's
Yeah.
awesome.
Gotta have to use it.
Exactly.
This is important. Yeah. But there are going to be a couple of sessions run at Gen Con this year. Um, so if anybody wants to come in and play them, you can just sign up. My partner's going to have it there, and should be available for sale as well at Gen Con this year. So we're
To
self-publishing everything.
listen, I know that there's more difficulties, but if you had to give like a price point, just so I can go ahead and like budget for
Oh
more games,
yeah. Oh
if you
gosh.
can give it all,
I
it's
think
okay if not.
I think he's looking at like the 45-ish, like 45, 50 kind of a thing, but
Perfect.
it's a digest size, couple hundred-page book. And
No, no, that is perfect then. So long as I didn't know how much production, blah blah blah, all that good stuff.
yeah,
Below a
yeah,
hundred, this still
below
sounds
100.
like a
Absolutely.
beautiful game to play.
Yeah, it's really fun. And we also did a lot of play testing like with the kids. It was a very family
Mm.
kind of thing. We were able to do it all together, and that was dope. Liked it.
No, that is fantastic. Well, considering that we are now just a touch past, other than what
Did
we've
it.
already mentioned, uh,
Sorry, guys.
what else do you have coming down the pipeline? It's okay if you don't want to give everything away. Just
Oh my
say
gosh.
the Vanishing Lands. Like
Yeah, I
it's fine.
mean, I've got both of those games coming up very soon, Crowned and Vanishing Lands. I will be at GaryCon in March, doing some Actoroki for Peter, and I will be at C2E2, running a couple of games in April. Um, Rough Magic has partnered with Revolution Brewing, and we made a short, like a one-page RPG based off of a line of beers that they had made. And so we're going to play that on stage. And I'm going to be at Gen Con. And you can find me all over the internet at Pixies and Pins. I show up a lot of places. Oh, and on Winter's Tales, we're going to do a second season of Thirsty Sword Lesbians coming up very soon.
Gotcha. You're gonna have to throw me that link, and I'll throw that in so everyone can see it.
Oh, I'll just put it up. I'll do it.
Oh
I'm
right, no, I
capable.
forget. I'm so
I can
sorry.
do.
I didn't mean that. You're God here. I
Mm.
forgot.
No, yeah, no, that's good. We're good. Yeah, so there you go. You can also check out Winter's Tales. That's all. It's over there. I will be very soon. We did they brought me on and said, let's do Thirsty Sword Lesbians. It'll be really sexy. And then it was incredibly sad and poignant. And everybody cried every session. And then I was like, well, they're probably not going to ask me back. And the audience was like, we would like you to hurt us emotionally some more. So if you could come back and do that for me, I was really loving it. So we we're gonna do a second season, probably 4 or 5 episodes is what I'm thinking. So
I mean, it's a good kind of therapy, you
it's
know.
okay. It's a weird kind of therapy, but I'm in. Let's go.
Sarah, it was great speaking with you, and
Yes, thank you so much.
thank you for all of your energy and everything that you do for the gaming community.
Thank you. That's so nice to hear. That was nice. I'm gonna hold on to that for the rest of the day.
I'm glad to give you a little something to hang on to.
It's really nice.
But Sarah, don't go anywhere, and RIM PCs, you don't go anywhere either, because we will be right back. Don't forget that we have a wonderful giveaway of a Shadowrun 6 World Core Rulebook PDF. Type RIM PC in the chat for your free entry to win, and don't forget to get bonus entries. All funds help us pay our cast and crew and help keep producing content. Thank you all for joining. Now on to today's episode of Emerald Glitch, Duck in a Basket. See you there, RIM PCs.
Can I just ask, what does a summoning tea kettle look like?
Oh, a summoning tea kettle. It is made out of cast iron that has been painted ritually with symbols in blood, obviously, that are then coated and shellacked over so that they don't flake off, that way it can last for centuries. And we use a nice clear coat, though, so you can see them quite nice, quite clear. We mix in, with the blood, we mix in the iridescent paint, so it gives us a nice little beautiful shimmer, especially as it heats up. And as you heat it up, that's where the magic happens, because that is when all of the symbols start to glow and get bright and beautiful. And as the tea kettle whistles, that is the summoning ritual complete.
If you have an interest in using the summoning tea kettle, or taking part in any of the other worlds in our games, you don't have to have experience. Just join our Discord, and the GMs will work with you and help you find a game you enjoy. The link is in the chat.
Ready to level up your cosplay game? Check out the Geek Forge on Etsy. With a variety of props to give your photos that extra spark, you'll find just what you need. Hold magical fire in the palm of your hand, or take a potion to restore your mana. With a large variety of colors, you can choose your own magical flavor for your cosplay. Bring drama to your photo shoots with these vibrant props and more, all available at the Geek Forge. Are you ready to level up your cosplay?
like 92 times.
You get to play with us now, which is so exciting. So with channel points, bits, and subscribes, you can give rewards to the player of your choice. So how to do that is, no, not Bob. Channel points, I believe it is 500 points, gets you NERPs, which is +3 to any dice roll to the player of your choice. For 1,000 channel points, you can do a point of edge to any player. And for 2,500 channel points, you can do 4 edge to the player of your choice. Now for bits, for 100 bits, that's $1, you can do the NERPs. For 200 bits, that's $2, you can do the point of edge. Or for 500 bits, that's $5, get 4 edge to give to the player of your choice. And finally, again, the subs, if you subscribe, you can give 4 edge to any player.
was trying to cheat and write something real quick, and now I got caught. Hey everybody, welcome back to another episode of The Emerald Glitch here on Gen Con TV. I'm Max from Original Box Set, and we're hanging out with the Rem Alternis people doing Shadowrun 6th edition. And so we're playing catch up with the group. They got the bomb. It was actually a pretty easy run. Not really. There was some tension building. They got in. They got out. There was some stuff, some analog. If you want to see more, go back, watch that episode. It was Destiny's Calling, and it's from a 1-800 number, from an 800 number. It was good stuff. The follow-up to that one, it was the follow-up to that one, was them doing a bunch of like soul searching and whatnot. But in the process of getting back, they see that Bot Technologies has come to repossess its ice and containers, mainly the containers. They're worth almost as much as the ice, and you know, it's hard to find a good box these days. Like, most of them are under a bridge or holding a refrigerator. So, you know, keep them while you got them. Maybe add some duct tape to them and stuff like that. Keep those boxes together.
Duct tape?
Duct tape, yeah.
I hope you meant to do that.
And so one of those boxes, we have a passenger that was abducted against his... Come on, you got the...
Against his
yeah. So Duck was abducted and he was being hauled off when the group saw him last, and so that's where we're picking up. We're gonna kind of segue into having with us Nova, and Techno Siren is not with us tonight, so we're just gonna be like boop, 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 and then one's there and the other one's not, and it's not gonna be weird at all. So, and now it's Christian's turn.
All right, and now it's my turn. For tonight's giveaway, please drop hashtag RemPC in the chat, and you'll be entered for a chance to win the Shadowrun 6E Core Rulebook. Our winner will be announced tonight at the end of the episode, and you'll be reached out via Twitch Whispers. And reminder, you can get 7 additional entries if you subscribe to Gen Con TV today. And don't forget that for every 100 bits you donate, you get another entry. Not only that, you can help me, specifically me, by donating bits. For every 100 bits you give us, you get 1 NERP to use, and that's an additional 3 dice you can add to a roll. For 300 bits, you can give a player 1 edge, and 500 bits, you can give a player 4 edge. And by player, they of course mean Convoy. But I guess you could possibly give them to the other players, or you could give them to Max if you hate everything. But please donate. Please hit that hashtag RunPC for a chance to win that Shadowrun 6E Core Rulebook.
Wow, Convoy. Didn't know you felt like that about Max.
Nobody help Max. He doesn't need it.
Really now?
Maybe we should help Max. Maybe we should help Max. The lighting
That's a
changed.
great idea. I like that idea. So, your Mama Bear is an all-terrain vehicle, but is also technically designed for doing high-speed chases with most vehicles. How well does Mama Bear keep up with like a street racer?
I think Mama Bear does decently well, but I mean, it's not going to have... Mama Bear doesn't have the top speed to keep up with a street racer.
Right, so this cargo helicopter, drone-powered, maybe there's real people in there, who knows? We don't know yet, there's lots of questions. Will have top speed equivalent to some sort of ground racer, like 150, 200, 250, something like that. That's the kind of like top speed you'd be thinking about. Also, it's not pinned to going across the ground. It has a direct line that it needs to fly, or can make curved around buildings and stuff like that. So you guys have to do some plotting and thinking. I also have a random chart that tells me what's going on in the streets and the traffic for the city as well as where you're driving. The good news is you don't have to worry about rain. That's not till later today. Oh, several hours away, like 3. So, let's powwow for a moment and figure out how we're going to get Duck back. Or, if we're not going to get Duck back, let Duck get captured and then go try to find Duck logically by doing some legwork and some kind of like sleuthing and then sneaking in and the look on you guys' faces.
We've got drones. We don't need another whole job just to get the Duck.
I mean, he is your water guy. He's got water. That's all he can do is find water.
No, but
Okay.
still, definitely get him from. Definitely try to catch him en route.
Right.
While we're here.
Okay.
I mean,
All right. So, what do you guys want to do? I'm listening.
here's the thing: we can try. We can try to chase him down, but Mom Bear's not gonna be able to keep up for much longer. What is more likely to happen is we're gonna get a general direction of which way they're going, and then we're gonna be able to logically deduce where they're headed, right? Based on some knowledge checks in the old Matrix.
Cool. Does Nova have any 2 cents to toss in onto this tin hat?
What is it? In the absence of air resistance, all objects accelerate toward the ground at the same rate, about 9.8 meters squared? A second squared?
That's per second squared, correct. But there's also the friction of the atmosphere itself that it creates will reduce some drag based upon the actual shape of the falling object. A feather versus a bowling ball. That's why a feather that weighs a ton and a bowling ball that weighs a ton drop at a different rate. But in a vacuum, they fall at the same rate. That, on the other hand, a flailing anthro drone might be okay. Maybe he can, like, wiggle his arms a bunch.
Yeah, so I say we tell him to jump and we try to catch him.
And if that doesn't work, we have a backup plan.
Yeah.
Excellent. So, let's do some chase rules. I know that Convoy is eager to do the chasing.
Always.
And what we're going to focus in on is the initiatives between the group and the initiative of the helicopter drone, or heli drone is what I'm calling it. So, the heli drone doesn't know you guys are there at this point in time or in pursuit. But for the purpose of tracking, this is going to be a bit of a numbers game, and we're going to throw in some cool descriptions, and you guys can kind of like segue in and out. I'm going to hit the initiative. I'm going to clear these initiatives. Do I need to clear them? How does this thing work? Remove all turns. Oh, you know what? This is going to work because I don't have an icon. Actually, I do. Are you sure you want to clear the turn list? Do I want to do this?
Yes.
Yeah, you can clear. Yeah.
Okay, it worked. All right. So I hit initiative for the heli drone, and I got a 21. Why did it put it for Arcole? Did you roll 2 Arcole?
Just now? No.
It's weird.
It's okay.
Did you have Arcole's
Token selected.
Token selected?
I did because I was trying to delete it. I couldn't delete it earlier today for some reason.
That's so it attached your initiative roll to the token you had selected.
Oh.
Just clear it again and then click on the one that you want, and then you can manually type in the 21.
I want it to be under Hexbear, and I'm going to use her to track everything. Yeah, show it to everyone. What are you doing? I don't know. How about that? 16! Ha ha!
There we go. Now here's a question: did I have time to jump in or not?
Sure.
Cool.
Oh, and edge pools are refreshed. And I don't know if anybody had any like temporary. Oh my god, 39! Why am I even trying?
He's gotta go fast.
Go fast, man.
Gotta go fast. Okay, so this means it's taking any actions that would happen on the 16th, so you guys get to dictate to me what's going to happen before it gets to go. So this basically back and forth for a little bit.
Okay. Convoy chase.
Yeah, I will immediately take pursue.
All right,
What
so
would ST do? Save talk.
What are the rules for chasing again? You've done this before. We've talked about it, and they were in the riot gun.
The pilots are required to use an action to make a piloting roll each turn.
Each turn.
If they do not make a piloting roll, then you have to go into crash rules because you're not functioning the vehicle. And there is, that's mostly it. It kind of goes back and forth, kind of going around. You can decide if there are factors, like you said, you got that table, right? That'll add modifiers to my rolls if we're in different terrains and stuff, right?
As well. Exactly. Right. We got that going on. So first, we have to also do a couple other things. If you remember, we have to designate how far apart you guys were, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I think, based upon like human perception, the ability to see shit like that, you guys should be. Are you done with your nap? Can I have everything back, please? You're wonderful. Go over there. I believe you guys should be near, because that would be an idea of that. Oh, hey, what's that going on? Oh my gosh! And then the ring, ring, ring. Oh my goodness, Duck's in there. So I think the range we should set it at as near, so you get to go first. And when we look at this chase, let me find it again.
Where's Techno's motorcycle in all this, by the way? Just a casual question. Because I know that Convoy got it. Or not
probably drove up. Probably drove up, picked her up, and then drove her home.
Okay.
I don't have the right book open. Good news, though. I can click here. Click onto the homey bit. Home. Where is it? No, that's my taxes. Is it under firing squad? Hack and slash.
Double clutch.
Double clutch.
And you want to go to page
Battletech
175.
Hang on, I'm looking. Couple of resumes.
Step 1 is describe environment. Step 2 is chase target and ranges, which we've kind of discussed a little bit, right?
Okay. And, yeah, right.
Then it's the piloting tests, and you just track the distance to see how close we are.
Excellent. Well, I'm very glad that you were able to find that. I apparently have a lot of PDFs listed, so many that I could not find the one I needed.
Double clutch is the one is the Bible for riggers.
So we've determined the range is near. Let's kind of talk about the terrain real quick. I'm going to pull out 2d6 and go to my little charty chart. 2d6. I got a 9. I think it's under... That is it. Not it. Checking. checking. I appreciate everybody's patience as I sort through a variety of things. I've prepared nothing tonight. This is what winging it looks like for me.
It's okay. If they were there during the interview, then they just got the whole lowdown on how crunchy Shadowrun can be sometimes.
Yeah, it's super crunchy.
Speaking of crunchy, this seems like a good time to talk about how Convoy has some cool new abilities.
Yeah.
Which take place at the start of the round. I get a chase pool equal to my my control rig's rating, which is 3. So I have an additional pool of edge that is in addition to my normal edge pool, which is pretty great. And I am a speed racer, and I am also what's the other one called now? I'm a speed racer, and I'm always ready. So when I'm always ready, when the chase pool starts, I get 1 edge into that chase pool. And speed racer means anytime I'm in a chase, I get a new edge at the top of every round. So I got to start with 2 additional edge, which is pretty exciting.
That is
Thank you for the zoom
pretty
in.
crazy.
I'm very excited about this. I'm giddy.
I did wrong. It's 3d6, so I'm going to do this again. I would like roll 1 extra d6, but I'm just going to roll a 13. All right. Traffic ahead. Ground traffic ahead is slowing down due to d6. A shootout in an intersection. It says violence in an intersection. So ahead somewhere of where you're headed to follow this helicopter. Security corporations are currently having a gunfight with, and we'll determine that just a second. 7. Security corporations are having a gunfight with dudes in pinstripe suits. I mean, you're not going to know what they are, but come on, that's Mafia. I just didn't want to say it out loud, you know?
The pinstripe suit man, no!
That gang is malicious.
They got switchblades.
The biggest
All right.
crimes.
So, this will increase the needed target number of hits to get through this intersection by 3. Because it's a gunfight, there's 2 sides involved, and there's traffic, so that's a total of 3. I'm going to roll. If I get better than a 12, there's also media there. I got a 14. There's also media on the site, so that makes it go from 3 hits to get through the intersection to also a worry about being spotted by the media. Because remember, media can affect your cover and heat levels and stuff like that. Anywho, so on Convoy's initiative of a 39, he gets to go first, but you other 2 also get to act afterwards to assist in different ways. If you see an opportunity to utilize a skill in some type to help, I'm going to use my leadership to give Convoy some extra. That's what you do. Okay, so what do we got going on, Convoy? I see you there.
A terrible roll, but I'm going to immediately use those 2 edge. Those edge in the chase pool can only be used on piloting checks.
Okay.
I guess, or athletics if I was in a ground chase, but let's be real. I don't think. So, oh goodness, of course I don't have my edge actions up.
Uh-oh!
I'm going to use those 2, and I'll use another 2 from my personal to reroll.
Roll a 4.
To reroll
Yes.
those misses.
Wow.
Okay. So
Not great.
your piloting that requires a major action to do so, right?
Yes. Yeah.
Exactly. And you have 1 major action, and based on your initiative dice, you have at least the ability to buy another major action.
Yes. For the other major action, I will see if I can try to find a way to bypass this intersection, or if I'm stuck.
All right, so tell me what you want to use, what skill set, like handguns, explosives, grenades, to bypass the intersection. Tell me what you want to use, and then we can go build from there.
I mean, I could probably use my perception. Try to
Sure.
just straight up see, using all my sensors, everything I have, to find a different route.
Do either of you guys want to help out in any way, shape, or form for this skill test he's about to do?
Yes, absolutely. Me and Gross.
How would you like to help? What do you want to
I
do?
would like to tap into traffic cameras in order to secure like safe passage.
Cool. So both you're going to roll. Remember, 2 extra dice from Grouse. All the hits you get will give Convoy bonus dice to his perception test. I would. So right now in my brain, I'm thinking like a gap in the cars. What are you thinking?
Exactly the same. Like just an easy way to weave through that doesn't call a lot of attention, if at all possible.
Cool. So above view, looking down, go ahead and make your matrix perception roll, and those hits are going to be bonus dice toward Convoy. Convoy, what about you? What are you thinking as far as it goes for how you're going to get through this area?
I'm looking to see if there is another direction. If there's like I imagine I'm looking to see if there is a side street that I can like
Side
through
street.
traffic and avoid for a second, and that's a little more clear and is gonna let us avoid the media in this shootout.
Awesome. Well, 5 extra dice to your roll, and Nova, do you want assist in this in any way, shape, or form? Like looking out or stabbing people or shooting people?
I think I'm gonna call Duck and tell him to open the door of his home.
All right. That's a minor action amongst all your things, so it's not going to consume your major action. Nope.
I don't know what else I could possibly do right now. So
Shoot at people.
shoot at people. We're trying to keep
Yeah, why
our
not?
profile,
Who said what? Who said that?
right?
I didn't say that. You do whatever you want.
He's just trying to cause chaos. Don't give in. Don't give in, Nova.
The audience out there, please give me some edge points. I'm going to shoot.
I don't give in. I don't give in to the GM's demands.
Okay. So you're just going to chillax, maybe hold your action in case something else comes up, because...
Yeah, I'll hold my action. I'll call Duck and then just hold my action.
All right, so Convoy, you got 5 extra dice. Let's get that perception roll going.
No, that's not a success. Sorry.
Wow.
That's not a success, because I did greater than 4, because it's not greater than or equal to 4. It's greater than 4.
But you're doing a perception test with a modifier of 4. 5 dice, right?
Yeah, I already rolled the perception, didn't I?
No, you haven't
I
rolled
didn't.
it. No.
I'm sorry.
That's what.
Well, those are the extra 5.
Do it all over again. No, just do it all over again. It's fine.
Also, you typed it in wrong.
God is merciful today.
Okay.
There we go.
3 hits
Oh, go
is
ahead.
good. 3 hits is good. I was kind of hoping. So for as far as it goes for a way through traffic, like pin wise through traffic, like our Cole and I were talking, I was looking toward 5s and 6s. For an alternate route to get around quickly, I was hoping for like 4. But since you only got 3,
Can I give him?
I feel that your TomTom suddenly gives you directions through the subway.
Oh my god. How much edge do you have left, Christian?
I just got one for making an intuition check, so I've got 4 currently.
I'll spend 2 of mine to give you one.
Okay. I can roll. I don't have any 4s.
I give you some encouragement. I say maybe you don't listen to that, Tom.
All right, why not? Edge is there to be spent. Right?
Yes.
Reroll
Spent and
fails.
earned.
So I'm gonna re-roll those failures.
And drum roll, please. 6.
Oh my god,
There we
that's
go.
9 hits. Incredible.
So, Arcole, while you're looking through the cameras and everything, and the TomTom immediately reroutes to go through the subway, under the street, and back up the next flight of stairs, which would not be an easy moment in time. And Convoy is just like, oh, we can't do that. And you notice that the program that's currently running to help lay out and map out is making a few mathematical errors. You quickly make some adjustments and lay out some guidelines, and it kind of points in the direction of going through traffic by driving through the fire lane and then weaving in and out through parked cars into traffic and onto the curb. The only thing is that you're going to have to do stealthy stealth to get past the police while you blatantly break the rules of driving on the sidewalk and stuff like that. But I mean, it's a shootout. They kind of know this is happening. People are shooting and whatnot. Some people from their nearby vehicles are shooting. Security forces are shooting at everyone at this point in time. Lots of bullets flying. Kind of crazy.
Not
So-
the children.
Yeah, the children have guns too.
Not the children!
What do
In
you
a more
have?
panicked
A
voice.
knife. No.
All right, so you got a 3 on your previous piloting roll. No, you got a 1, didn't you? And then you re-rolled to a 3. So you got a 3 on your piloting, and the heli
Was that
drone.
That would be a 4 total because I re-rolled
4 total.
the misses.
Okay.
Yeah.
So the heli drone, on its action of 16, is going to just cruise right now. I will determine if it's got any issues weather related to flying. 3d6. I got a 12. No rain. Rain's not for at least another 2 hours. No airborne traffic. No issues. Pattern is nice and clear for this heli drone to just cruise on and not have any idea there's somebody coming up on its 6. So I'm
Would
not
it be
going to
all
even...
right if I used? I have a couple extra minor actions. Could I tell Goose? Actually, not Goose. I'll send Slugger. Actually, no, Goose. Let me send Goose. I will send Goose to follow in the air from a safe distance.
Okay,
Not
go
chasing,
ahead.
just trying to keep eyes on it.
Technically, that is chasing, and all you want to do is never gain. You want to always take advantage of not gaining on them. So you want to equal or exceed their piloting roll at all points in time. So if you want to go ahead and roll for Goose piloting.
Sure. Gonna go to. There we go.
Excellent. 3. All right, now let's get this heli drone to do its thing. Let's get the heli drone to do it. Oh, come on. I pushed the button. Oh, you know why? That's why. The modifier thing is turned on. Let's cancel, 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 cancel. Go back. Turn off the modifier. Right now. There we go. The pilot drone got 1 success. It's not doing anything. It hasn't activated any specialized programs or any special defenses. It's just like putter, 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 putter. So even though you're able to weave through traffic, we're going to get a stealth roll here from you in a minute to kind of like gauge how well you avoid being detected while driving through a gunfight. The drone pilot is not going any faster. Nova, you held your action to do other things. You've called Duck, told him to open the door. He's going to try to open the door. Did you want to do anything else before we go back to the next round?
Ah.
Yell at some people? We shoot them.
Can I? Oh, do I have these in the fridge? Hold on, one moment. Could I? I have a stun grenade. Could I just throw it behind us?
There are 3 groups behind you as far as that's concerned. The security forces, the people in pinstripe suits, and the civilians who are shooting from their vehicles.
Assign them a number and roll a 1d3.
In that order, 1, 2, 3.
That whoever does it. 1d3. Nope,
there
that's
we go.
not. That's
Backslash.
I don't know how to do
/R.
it now. I was too busy telling everyone else how to do it, and I messed up myself. 1.
All right, you're stun grenading the security forces. Excellent.
Oh, right.
Grenades do not actually have to have like a well-aimed hit. All you got to do is hit near your target for it to be effective. So,
So can I do something like can I roll a stealth roll to be like sneaky about it?
heck yes.
Okay, let me roll stealth. Oh, do I have any special things? Hold on, core. You know, you could learn this game too, viewers, if you enter in a hashtag RunPC into the chat to win the core rulebook. And you can get started on learning all of the crunchy.
Crunchy.
Crunch. Submit. 5 hits.
5, that's really good. I'll make a perception rolls later based upon that 5. So you need to do an athletics plus agility to throw the grenade. Let's see. Then we have to see if
That's 4
a
for the
location rather, but
athletics
anyone in
agility.
blast rider. Avoid incoming minor acts. Okay, so they could make a dodge dive if they see it, but you made a stealth, so we got to roll against that. So I got me some.
Ooh, I'm going to spend 2 edge to turn that 4 into a 5.
Giving you 1 extra success.
Yeah, give me 1 extra success. Okay, so that brings me down to that again. Alright.
All right. Security force number 1 got 1 success. Security force number 2 got 4. He is on top of things. Not enough though. And the last set of the third. This is in groups of 2, by the way. So it's total of 6 security individuals. Got 2. Nobody see you throw the grenade. Nobody has a clue. It hits the ground. Tink, tink, tink. They have no idea. So they cannot utilize a minor action to dive for cover.
I'm gonna roll for stun.
We compare the attack rating of the grenade versus their defense rating of their armor.
My grenades are... attack rating. The stun is just a 15, GZ is 10S. Do I need to roll it to find out what the attack rating is?
No, it should be one of the first numbers on. It's like every weapon has an attack rating.
My pool is 15.
No.
I don't think it has it in the spreadsheet.
All right. I'm
Looking
gonna
info.
try to find grenades. Grenades, weapon accessories, heavy pistols.
It doesn't.
Submachine guns. Now, why is it even?
It would be the attack rating of the gun if you're shooting out of a gun.
Yeah, I'm just throwing it. So it's hold on. I just did a thing and it dropped down thrown, type thrown. Doesn't give anything.
When use athletics with agility to throw grenades or an exotic weapons launcher, follow the rules for blast attack, page 114, where I was at. Grenades and similar explosives can be rigged with a tripwire. We don't care. Engineering just don't care. Come on. Why does it ask for an attack rating?
Let me roll this thing. Maybe it'll say something on it. Well, I got 10 hits on a fit.
15 meters. We compare the attack rating of the grenade, in this case is a 12. It calls this, in their example, they're using this, what is it, a frag grenade? Frag grenade has an attack rating of 12, but how do you, why? Just why? What is up with that? Maybe it's written here? Nope. Fragmentation? Nope. 8S. Near. Oh! Yeah, it is an 8S. Yeah. So if you look in the fragmentation, it says 12P. That's the attack rating. So
I thought that's
ground
the damage
zero damage value. Yeah, it's that. I'm assuming that matches then, because that's what it seems to match up with this little description. So at ground zero, its attack rating is a 16P. All those security guys are ground zero or GZ. So it's
okay.
a
For a
10X.
stun, it's just 10. Yeah, okay.
Yeah, and their damage rating is 18 for their defense rating. That means they have an edge. Whoop-dee. Uh-huh. Okay, so anyways.
They have an edge against my grenade.
Yeah, because their armor is very thick.
Man. Darn taxpayer dollars.
They
Right,
put
going
rubber
to
in
giving
those
them...
suckers, you know?
So, step 3, roll dice, spend edge. We're already past that. Step 4 for explosives, need to know. It says... It's a grenade launcher. Damage, blast area, we're cool. Motorcycles, don't care about all that. Because their vehicle... They don't have any, so it's straight 10S stun, and then they roll their body. You see how much they knock off of it. That's it. That seems a little off. I'm gonna go with it. Okay. Grenades. They go boom. 6 times. All right. 1. No. Oh, I gotta turn that off. Cancel.
Let's go for 3. Oh. Okay.
All right, so their stun is 9. So only one guy is still standing, and that's security guy number 3 on that list. The rest of them, the grenade goes off. They get flown in all directions. They don't take any physical damage. It's all stun damage. Gets the wind knocked out of them. All right, so if guys, we move on to the next. You have succeeded in your piloting roll. They got a 1. You got a 5. You got your drone went up into the air. You got a 1. Let me go back up. Oh, got a 3. So because you beat the heli drone in both your piloting rolls, what does that mean for the distance between vehicles?
I believe that means that I can move closer.
Mm-hmm.
I basically gain 1. I'm blanking on the word here, but I basically can get range, but like obviously we can never get that much closer because they're in the air, but so I'd probably just maintain I'd be as close as we could. It'd be slightly above us or something, right?
Yes. Checking now. 1 environment range. Here it goes. We were at close, and so you go from close to near.
There it is.
Oh, you go from near to close. So you're
Okay.
close now. None of that else matters. Okay, and then chase pool will complete. So dodging and deftly maneuvering through the different intersections and on the sidewalk, Mama Bear, the size of this large truck maneuvering through the underbrush of this steel and concrete city, dodging gunfire and police barricades and stuff. You were able to be on a more positive route behind this heli drone escaping with Duck. All right. In that next round, sorry, Arcola, you wanting to go to break now? You want to hold on break for just a few more?
Oh, no, it was aiming for 9, 10, 9, 15.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. So, you have moved into a position where you can follow after this vehicle better, but we're going to see what the next section of traffic holds. Let's go back down. 17. Blocked road. Why is it blocked? 6. We're not going to do another fight. That's just silly. Blocked road, meaning this avenue is going to cause you to lose one chunk of movement. But it says like combat. We're not going to do that one. We're rolled again. Jackknife truck. As you're maneuvering through the city, even better. As you're maneuvering through and keeping on the tail of the heli, you dip off of the highway to do some cutting around. No, you dip onto the highway. You get onto the highway utilizing some of the high-speed toll roads to get up there, and the northeast-bound highway is blocked off by a jackknife truck, and there are I-5ers looting the truck at this point in time. So there are armed gang members on the highway. So as you come pulling up, you're like maybe 4 or 5 cars into it. A couple of the I-5ers are heading toward the people, pointing guns at them, yelling, "Get out of your vehicle, get out of your vehicle." So as you guys are, and you're the motor's revving up, and you get up onto the highway, and smoke and fire.
Awesome.
Right through the flames.
If I can, yeah.
Yeah. How would you get over the truck? The broke down, busted up. How would you get over it?
That is a great question. I don't think I would be able to. Yet.
You don't have like a front grate or anything?
I mean, I've got ram plate, but
Smash.
it's also if it's a semi, it's also probably got ram plate.
Yeah, but it's laying on its side, stretched across the highway. All you would have to do is get over it somehow.
Mm. I mean, are there?
Roll a grenade underneath the car and let it.
I was gonna say, are there any? I mean, are there any obvious? Let's see, like those trailers that normally carry cars. You know, that I can drive up and ramp over.
All right, I'll let you roll 3d6. If you get a 14 or higher, yes. If you get a 11 or higher, no, but a crashed vehicle, on the other hand, would make a rampy-like environment. 11. There is a crashed vehicle near the head of the truck. If you hit it just right, Mama Bear will pick up and you'll be able to roll across part of the cab of the semi, while Mama Bear does a 2-wheelie pop-up and drive between the remnants of the semi and the wall of the highway itself.
All right, let's go for it.
Oh,
I need to see a piloting roll. And are you guys buckled up?
Yes.
Convoy is.
100%.
And I would like to shift my weight around to whatever would be most convenient for him.
All right, here we go.
All right. Because the vehicle's, now if it was a ramp vehicle, I would definitely want, it doesn't matter. I was going to be like aiming for like 5 or 6. You scored an 8.
I also found out that my first piloting roll was still on reaction. I forgot I was jumped in. I should have switched it to intuition. So
There we go. There we go. Okay. Well, so at that time you were really jacked in. You were just like physically driving. You're like, oh, hang on, I gotta stab my head real quick and lay down.
yeah, that's exactly what was happening. I was still like buckling myself in, giving my extra buckles because I need more because my neck goes loose, right? So I had to like.
I got it's just a belt buckle across the floor.
Yeah.
It's a belt buckle. You got that in the end. You've got these brackets on your forehead from where it's pressed in.
No, better yet, it comes out of my cowboy hat. It's an attachment, so I don't have to take my hat off.
Oh, that's hilarious. All right. Just because I feel like I want to be a bit, of a hoop, I'm gonna roll 3d6. If I get a 13 or higher, I'm gonna toss a spanner in your action. 50. As you head.
Oh, you're muted.
Max, you're out. Oh. You're talking. Nothing's coming through. To whoever gave us real life nerps to do this, thank you.
How about now? Can you hear me now?
You're good. A little bit blown out. Give me just a sec.
We take this time, drop a hashtag RemPC in the chat, and you can play along at home.
Okay, go Max.
How am I now?
We'll
Still
teach you
good?
during break.
Sounds great. As you're heading toward the vehicle to pop like a two-wheel wheelie up onto the car, some of the I-5ers step forward and they start taking pot shots at Mama Bear's tires. That's a cattail, and we should go to a break and be back in a few minutes.
Can I just ask, what does a summoning tea kettle look like?
Oh, a summoning tea kettle. It is made out of cast iron that has been painted ritually with symbols in blood, obviously, that are then coated
Obviously.
and shellacked over so that they don't flake off, that way it can last for centuries. And we use a nice clear coat though, so you can see them quite nice, quite clear. We mix in with the blood, we mix in the iridescent paint, so it gives us a nice little beautiful shimmer, especially as it heats up. And as you heat it up, that's where the magic happens, because that is when all of the symbols start to glow and get bright and beautiful. And as the tea kettle whistles, that is the summoning ritual complete.
If you have an interest in using the summoning tea kettle, or taking part in any of the other worlds in our games, you don't have to have experience. Just join our Discord, and the GMs will work with you and help you find a game you enjoy. The link is in the chat.
Ready to level up your cosplay game? Check out the Geek Forge on Etsy. With a variety of props to give your photos that extra spark, you'll find just what you need. Hold magical fire in the palm of your hand, or take a potion to restore your mana. With a large variety of colors, you can choose your own magical flavor for your cosplay. Bring drama to your photo shoots with these vibrant props and more, all available at the Geek Forge. Are you ready to level up your cosplay?
on my desk. Don't bite me.
Welcome back, Rem PCers. Now, I reckon that y'all better put that hashtag RemPC in the chat so you can get a chance to win that Shadowrun 6e core rulebook. Now, don't forget that if you subscribe to Gen Con TV today, you get an additional 7 entries. And make sure you give us those bits so we can get some edge. You can give them to us, the players, or you can give them to Max to give the NPCs some edge, which they need because they don't get normally. So hashtag RemPC, y'all. Do it.
Woo!
Way to advocate for our downfall.
So yeah, let's talk about that downfall. They're gonna shoot your tires out. That's where we left off at, and let's do that real quick. Where were their stats? Here they are. Doo-be-doo-be-doo. What is the defensive rating on Mama Bear while she's driving?
That's a great question. You think it would be right there on... Oh, here we are. 14.
All right, so this will give you an edge because they have a 9. Two shots at your tires. Before this happens, other people get to act. So Arcole, you can act, but I also want to say to the audience, Nova had to go. Real life happens. That's part of everything. And so I get to ad-lib if I want Nova to do anything, which the answer is no. Yeah, no, she's just going to sit down and like start playing on her phone. Anyways, Arcole, did you want to do anything? Look,
Oh,
I don't want to play somebody else's character.
Is Nova not using 2 Edge to use her phone right now? I'm messing.
Oh, she's using no Edge to play Snake on her Nokia. Oh. Do you want to assist in any way, shape, or form?
Unless I'm assisting him in some form of evasive maneuvers that I can like help. I can't help pilot, but I could help project like trajectory. If at all possible, just by using the multiple cams and like things that he wouldn't normally be paying attention to.
Or you could shut the guns down because their guns have icons.
Let's run a spoof command.
Are you in?
For the sake of this, I was under the assumption that I would have probably known that I'm no good with guns, so hot sim.
Okay, that will give you at least enough to do 2 major actions, so you can spoof both of their guns. Since you can't spoof multiple objects, you can just roll twice. Their phone has 2 + 2, 4 dice. It's not set up, so I'll just roll 4d6. Guy number 1, guy number 2. Only one of them made a success, so you need at least 2 successes on both of them, and you're successful at spoofing their guns to tell them to what? The ammo eject?
Yeah, ammo eject and yeah.
Do it. Right.
Do you need 2 spoofs? You need 2 spoofs.
Yeah, you do. You're doing 2 spoofs. Number 1 is 6 ammo ejects. Number 2, 5 ammo ejects. So as Mama Bear begins heading, they move forward, they bring their shotguns up, brace into their shoulder, and their ammo goes, and they're like, ah. As the gun sparks for a moment, Mama Bear crushes the small Toyota Celica car, flinging half of her into the air. And as her tires rear up, it begins jerking the front tire back and forth, heading toward that concrete barricade along the side of the highway. The tires start to come back down and they crash into the front end of the semi-truck and then run over, and gravity takes full effect as Mama Bear crawls off the backside of the semi-truck, slamming down all the tools and whatnot, bouncing up and down and then back into their respective spots, including like Spot the Wonder Drone. Woo! You get past. You're now on the highway. It's free and clear. No questions asked. You're able to gain distance on this helicopter. And
Do you want?
What?
Sorry. Do you want me to roll body or anything for that of Mama Bear?
No.
Okay,
We're
cool.
talking like that would be roughly about 4 or 5 stun of damage crashing down. And vehicles are immune to stun.
Okay.
Like it's designed to take that kind of impact with shocks and whatnot. Large tires.
Mama Bear's got shocks for days.
Mm-hmm.
You will be able to get within range of the heli and the crate. At this time, Duck has opened the door, and he is now looking out. The door, he pushed the buttons and everything. The door popped off, and it falls down, clatters into the ground. Mama Bear makes a swerve around it and whatnot. And it's not, by the way, it's not one crate. It's 3 crates in a row that are up there, and he's in the last one, so...
And they're all being taken by individual drones? Like it's 3?
One drone. No,
Oh.
this is a very large helicopter. It's got 3 of these crates picked up and carrying them. All right, helicopter's action. I'm going to give perception roll. Don't need that one. I'll keep that one open. All right, never mind. I'll close it. I don't need that one. Heli drone. Sensor roll. Should be pilot sensor. Should have been 6 dice. No, it's only 3. It needs to be 6 dice. 6 dice. Oh, clear sight. Duh. 2. All right. It is very
Maneuvering.
aware. What's that?
Sorry, maneuvering. It's probably the same score.
Maneuvering for what?
Is the piloting score for drones.
You are correct. Which it's going to do now that it realizes it is being followed. It made a clear sight, got 2 hits. You're on a highway. You're not hiding. You haven't claimed that you're doing any of your camo stuff. So it turns on its afterburners, leans forward, and starts flying at faster speeds as it realizes a high-speed vehicle is following after it. It is a drone. It's making a logical choice on actions. It is not a combative programming, maybe. It got 6. What did you get earlier on your piloting roll for that
8.
whole? All right, so it brings itself down. It tips its nose down, and begins drawing itself quickly as you're dodging that door that comes crashing down. And as that helicopter continues on its path, its pre-trajected path, you have the 2 of you lined up, like, and coordinated which direction it's going in based upon its given movements. And now that it's accelerated, the probability of where it's going to is honing in very quickly. And so you just slam on the gas. And although it's got 6 successes in an attempt to start getting a distance, Mama Bear starts getting into the 15,000 RPMs, you know, kind of like high-end RPMs. We've got 3,000 shifts, 4,000 shifts, 3,000 shifts into finally her highest 6-gear ratio. The amount of power being put out by the engine picked up by the transmission is putting everything on a little bit of a strain. But that helicopter is not gaining distance.
All right. We'll see if Goose can keep up. Nah, Goose can't keep up.
It's trying.
It's trying. That's okay. Goose isn't a speed racer. It's
Nope.
fine.
All right.
All right. I will make another, I guess, if we're going into the next top of the round.
We are.
Okay. I'll make another piloting check.
The highway, hang on, before you roll. The highway is clear. because of the semi-truck, there is no bound traffic. So you get an extra dice because there is nothing but flat, beautiful road. Wide
Alright.
open.
I love it. It's a beautiful thing. It's a beautiful thing, man. All right.
6 hits.
Not bad.
Nova has 2 edge. She'll give you 1.
Doesn't need to.
Nope. Doesn't need to?
Because I've got 3 in the chase pool,
Pool
and they
dice,
go away. I
yeah.
have to use them.
Have to use them.
So I'm just going to use 2 to change one of those 4s to a 5, make it a success.
Excellent.
So that'll be
Putting
7.
it 7.
All
right.
And then I would like
for it.
to use I think this might be a major action. I'll turn two minors into a major, and I will get my the mechanical hand to or my big mechanical arm on the back to move up into like a catching position. Just to try to bridge some of the gap. And I will use another minor action. Since I've got eyes on this drone. Sorry, I'm making sure I'm doing the right thing. Is it called a Slim Jim? Yeah, we'll try a Slim Jim. Which is just a brute force control device against the drone.
The heli drone?
Yeah.
Can I assist in
All
that?
right. What are the stats and skills related to this brute force Slim Jim?
So this is programming. So this would be going through one of my other drones. So I'd basically be controlling using a minor control one of my drones that can see it to do this for me using the programming. So it won't get the bonus of me.
No, but it could get a bonus from Grouse.
Yeah.
Grouse could assist it, giving it an extra 2 dice.
Yeah, so it's got a programming of 9.
No.
And then
No. Grouse automatically buys.
Oh, right.
I'm sorry.
Normally it's never mind.
Yeah, normally you add 2. But Grouse would actually have to roll his 8 dice to assist this drone because it's not you.
I forgot that it wasn't. I heard 2, and I remember that his normal is 8. Oh, it doesn't give you. Oh, there's the advanced roller.
One, 2 extra dice. Still the same. All good.
All right. Maybe. Ooh. That was a good roll.
That was. What does the drone resist with?
Let me look that up quick.
What was it called again? Slim Jim?
Slim Jim. This ESOP allows you to brute force and control device matrix actions, but only when targeting a vehicle or drone matrix icons. While
Which
making
is
it
this guy.
It's a virtual attack attribute equal to its rating, which program counts as a hacking cyber program. So it'd be the same as if I was brute forcing. So I'm guessing it's firewall?
I'm checking right now.
Sorry, I just thought let's get this ducking drone. It's pretty great.
It is willpower plus firewall. The drone has gone full as a minor action, as utilized and gone minor action to turn on its firewall, giving itself an extra dice. So it's got 2 dice for its firewall, plus its willpower, but it doesn't have a willpower because it's just a drone, so it only has 2 dice to work with as far as I can tell.
You'd add sensor, probably.
We can do that. That'll give it 5 dice to work with. 1, 2, 3. It rolled really well, but not good enough. All right, what does Slim Jim cause to happen?
The Slim Jim is making it just come down. It like slow down and just
Control device. The use of a brute force and a control device matrix all at the same time. Awesome. So it begins to descend. Sure. Not a problem. All right. On your round, the drone moves forward. Grouse grapples into it. The two of them working together cause it to the heli drone to begin descend from the ground. Your arm is outstretched, and you are getting closer and closer. Since you are at near, you are within grappling range. If Duck jumps just right, and you succeed in a piloting roll greater than 5, you will grapple Duck from the jumping midair. But before that happens, it is the helicopter's turn, and it wants to try to regain control. I'm going to set its test versus what you just got finished getting, a total of 7. We're gonna go on the notion that it has an alarm going off, telling it that it's about to crash into the ground. You know, it's got a sensor saying crash into the ground, so it's like emergency pull-up scenario kicks in, and this is what Grouse and your drone are currently fighting against, telling it no, keep heading toward the ground. And so it got a total of 3 successes, kind of dwindle away at the previous 7. So I'm going to see if I can't get it to get at least 4 more successes to break the grasp. And it only got 1. I don't have any edge because it's a drone. It can't make any other attempts. So the heli continues toward the ground. Top of the initiative. All right, actually, Arcole, do you want to do anything? You gave Grouse put over there. Did you want to do anything on this stretch of highway?
I don't have anything necessarily practical to do, but just for the sake of security, and we're speeding down this highway, you know, really gaining on this you know, company drone. Let's just make sure that nothing can see us, or nothing is at least recording us.
All right, so you're going to start doing some scrubbing.
Right.
That is a can't remember what it was. Erase matrix signature. Electronics plus logic. And the city automatically, like the security of the city, the highways and stuff like that, is probably going to be about 4 successes. That there, because there's currently a fire and a fight and stuff like that, so you're probably going to need some extra points. Grouse is busy, so
fair. Well, I got 3 hits, but I am spending 2 edge to turn one of those 4s into a 5.
Excellent. So you got enough. You're scrubbing away. All right. You need 5 successes with the arm. The helicopter, the heli drone is down. Duck is going to jump, and the anthro drone, if you get 5 piloting, will be in your possession.
Okay, here we go.
You got it. You got it. You got this ducking thing, man.
All right.
Arcole says, putting on his best
Oh my
convoy
God.
impression.
Okay, it's okay. It's okay because I have 2 in my chase pool, and since I have Attribute Master, I've been getting 2 every time for each piloting roll. So I will spend 4 to re-roll those misses. There we go.
10. That's fantastic.
I love that I leaned into edge.
As Mama Bear zips to one side, as he jumps, the helicopter's crashing into the ground. The crate itself begins breaking free from its cable tethers to the helicopter, and so Mama Bear swerves to one side, grabbing Duck out of mid-air like a baseball player with catching the ball in the mid, and slides to one side as you come around. The helicopter, at this point, still way too far away from. Let's see if I can. 1, 2 more. It's still not enough to break the crash your ass into the ground maneuver that Grouse and the drone were going for. Actually, I think it was more Grouse's action of like, yeah, crash that thing. The drone's like, we must make it go down. And Grouse is like, no, it must go into the ground. The drone's like, no, it just needs to land. And Grouse pulls out a little digital knife. It will go into the ground or else.
And Goose, his icon is definitely a Canadian murder, flying snake, a Canadian goose. And even though,
And so the helicopter continues its unprogrammed descent into the actual concrete, grinding metal sparks. Mama Bear catches Duck in a nice slide around the wreckage and continues down the highway at incredibly high speeds. And you guys begin driving into the distance. Meanwhile, Arcole, you are just blotting everything out. Do you let Convoy know?
That I'm scrubbing us? Arcole would probably assume that it would be assumed that he's trying to cover his tracks. But
Roleplay. This is the end. Combat's over. Roleplay. Do the roleplay thing. Yes.
don't worry, Convoy. I've got us covered. I know that you're not too afraid of people seeing you speed. I've been in the car with you.
Yeah, man, I don't want no heat though. Nova just shot a bunch of security forces with that stun grenade. They're gonna be pissed about that.
I've got it covered. As he's, effectively miming with his hands as he's going through.
Convoy will also use his signal scrubber and change the look of the truck. Use the I can't remember what it's called. The thing that constantly changes my license plate number. I can't remember what it's called. I have it, and I'm blinking, but I have it.
Arcole is also taking this chance to, I can only assume it's on the pan, turning off Nova's phone.
Yeah. Hey, I was using that.
Oh, I almost had my high score.
All right. Duck has been rescued. What do you guys want to do?
As soon as it's safe, I want to bring Duck inside.
Sure.
And I want him to have to sit in the back.
Duck gets into the vehicle. I'm assuming you mean get off the highway, find a place to kind of slow things down.
Play it loud.
Get Duck inside. Get off the main roads for a little while. And then head back to your hideout. Batman style, right?
Mm-hmm. You know what? I've been thinking, Arcole, man. Our Mama Bear is pretty great and all, but man, it'd sure be nice if she had wings,
I could only assume that you're talking about both wings and also rocket propulsion, right?
Well, yeah. I mean, they got some vector I've been looking at this, man. They got some vector thrust in some of those, and even a glide package would be mighty nice, if I get air and then I come down a little softer. But, I mean, rocket thrust would be great. That's extra though. And also, I mean, Mama Bear's those aerodynamics, they're not set up for moving fast through the air like that. So even the vector thrust would be enough. Just to give us a little speed.
I feel like we've come across enough situations, especially that, I can't help but feel like it would have come in handy at least a handful of occasions now. Getting away, I understand that we were already on the train, but, giant mechs and crazy things like that.
Mm-hmm.
A flying car would come in handy, and I my only input there, I would help you put it together, but only if while it's in the air it's called Mama Bird.
You know what, man? I think that's all right. I'm down with that. That's all right. I like that. I like that a lot. What about Mama Hen? No, hens don't fly. You can read the instructions. I don't know how good you are at your hands. I'll have to. You'll be all right.
See, I put my entire place together, so like it doesn't look nice or fancy as you would say. It works though. Like
Well, that's all
it's
right.
got
I
everything
mean,
I need.
that's the thing. These wings aren't going to be out all the time, right? Like, I can make them look nice later when I got time. I mean, that's functionality over form when we get started. But yeah.
I'm
Problem
just
is-
imagining this conversation going on with like the mechanical duck screaming just in the claws of Mom Bear while we're driving there.
Oh man, we gotta get Duck in here. I forgot. Hold on, let me pull it.
He gets in, dusts off his top hat, puts it back on. Mighty obliged for you ought to pick me up. Did not realize they were going to repossess those. Thought I found a nice little place to put up for a while. I was wrong. I'm in debt to you. I cannot pay you for your services. But I can always offer you a cool glass of refreshing water. That, and I know people. So I can always help you find someone that you're looking for. So if you would be so kind as to take me back to the tea shop, so as I might check to see how much of my other stuff has been repossessed.
Yeah, we'll get you back there, Duck. Duck, now,
Greatly appreciated.
do you know anyone that might be able to, I don't know, set us up with a quick job?
I've been around quite a bit. His mechanical hands kind of like tap for like he's counting or something. I've known quite a number of people. I'm assuming you're talking about the line of work that Steel Tiger does.
Yeah, I don't know if you know anyone that goes by the name of Mr. Johnson.
Oh no, that's not what I do. All I do is I know people. I get around and talk to people. You'd be surprised at how many makes a hand gesture to you, organics need water. I need oil, you need water. Works out. I don't prize water as much as you don't prize oil.
Oh, well, it's a high value both ways, but, well, do you, I don't suppose you got, ears on anybody that's, moving something of high value or something?
I can reach out to somebody who might know a job or two. If you would want, if that would be credible to pay back the debt that I've just incurred. My existence was about to become ended. Most likely they would have found me and either wiped my programming or just crushed me. So I am more than happy with calling a friend or two and seeing about work or something. But as far as it goes for moving valuable material, that's nothing that I truly know about.
It's all right. I mean, I'm thinking aerodynamics, right? I'm thinking...
Aerodynamics. No, I know nothing about aerodynamics. I was a maintenance bot on. I was a maintenance drone on a brewery line, and when the machines broke down, it was my job to repair. And when my time in service came to an end and I was to be replaced, I snuck out, and I do retain my knowledges, but they are around 30 years old as far as it goes, and so most likely useless. But one of the things that I was programmed with was all of the social skills relating to selling the beverage, and I've translated them since then and made friends. I've met a lot of people along the time and place. And if you're looking for work, I do know a fixer.
All right. I don't know about you, Arcole, but I think that'd be pretty great for debt settled. Yeah.
Arcole, still thinking. He's still rather uncouth. He just looks over at Convoy and he goes, "If he's a robot, why did they make him look like a duck? Yeah, no, if they've got
Well, I don't know, man.
if
I
they've
mean,
got a job, we can.
What was the brand of beer? Duck?
Oh, Budweiser.
I'm more confused, Convoy.
Yeah, that didn't help at all. I don't know why I thought that might give it a chance of light.
Oh, that one's easy to answer. You see, back in the early 2110, there was a. Yes, back in the late 2090s, there was a non-alcoholic child's version of Budweiser that was introduced. Iconically, the emblem was replaced with that of a duck amongst the more floral arrangements, so as to be able to sell the non-alcoholic cans of beer to children. It's me.
There it is. All right. Yeah. That makes
Things
sense.
are making a
That's
lot more
why I
sense.
was- Hence why I know all the commercials and jingles. And he kind of gives a shrug, picks up his top hat, and gives a tip. Just let me know when you want me to make that call.
Well, yeah. I think that's a good one. Nova, what do you think? Oh, never mind. That night shift is killing her, man. I gotta.
Suffercheck is working her to death.
Really is.
She's got 5 10s.
I mean, I used to do that in restaurants, but anyhow, is there any way for me to go ahead and cover his call? Just to, I mean, I'm sure he knows. I'm sure he knows how to cover up his calls, make it.
You don't even see a comm unit on him as far as that goes. So if he has one, he's running silent. You haven't searched for one either. So, I mean, it would be you testing to see if you could find it. So, right off the bat, he at least has that figured out. Actually, I'm going to say because he knows better, he has a comm unit that you can see. But in a previous game session, you've seen that he has one that is stealthed. There we go. I like that better. That would make more sense.
I mean, 2 phones, absolutely.
Yeah. One in your pocket, the other one in your sock.
Yeah. Remembering that he is definitely a duck that knows how to cover his bases. So
It doesn't hurt to ask.
Absolutely. If you were to make that call soon,
Okay.
do you don't need any help keeping it between us or anything like that?
The line I use is discreet, and the person has a discreet setup. So this is a burner phone, and he taps a part of his chest. I'm not worried to lose that one.
Okay.
I understand what you're saying, but no, it's okay. But you can keep an eye out. I normally don't have as much issues, but we did just kind of drive over. You just kind of like drove through a bunch of stuff, so he kind of makes a little shrug gestures, near atomically anthropomorphic shape gives that kind of notion.
I mean, we can make it back to the hideout, but I would be covering us there anyways. But just for the sake of it, we can hold off until we get back to the hideout.
No, it's fine. I can do it now.
Okay.
He gives a nod, and he activates his invisible comm, the one that's silent and everything. It starts to ring for a moment. And a woman picks up.
We have a guest star.
Hello?
Hi, I don't know if this is still the right number. My name is Duck, and I've spoke with you, a Sonny, before, who has given me this number. Are you Sonny?
I just kind of mute it for a second. Nancy, do you remember who Duck is?
The anthro-drone from the old Budweiser building after it burned down. Do you remember the runners from 2094? She goes, do you remember the runners that broke into the Budweiser facility to rescue the children from the rogue group of...
Right.
Yes. And then we found the duck-shaped anthro-drone.
Right. Yes.
Yes.
That
one.
Yes, Duck, how can I help you?
You said if I needed any help or finding some work, like your friends did, to give you a call.
You need work?
No, I'm paying back a debt. I have people who need work.
Oh.
Map displays, city lines, moving objects, going down a roadway, icons, traveling within the speed limit, multiple of them. Nancy begins playing around with the digital aerial base and whatnot.
Send me their information, I might have some work.
Of course. And then because you guys are in the vehicle and he is talking both in AR, as in, well, the real world. He says, which number should I get her for you? Several little icons that are stealthed around this moving vehicle appear. Arco, can you give me a matrix perception? Your target number is 10 hits to notice that you are being observed.
Got it. And for Gross, 8 extra?
No, he can only provide you an extra 2.
Oh.
You can either roll, but he's going to give you an auto 2. You would roll 8, and then whatever you get from him, you would add into it.
Oh, auto 2. Auto 2.
Okay. Yeah, you have no idea. Somebody just slid into your system and started bringing up all your information. You have no idea that there's somebody currently perusing through your pan. There's at least, and the AI, the artificial life form standing next to this. Can you give a short description of your appearance?
Yeah, so, middle-aged, woman with blonde hair, appears human.
Appears human. The holographic image next to you says, there's a total of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 comm units in the vehicle itself. There's a couple of drones. This drone over here, which is catching up to the vehicle, is also linked to them as well. Duck looks to you. Duck says to you, which number should I give her?
Oh, we'll give Arco. I'm sure you got a relay system of some kind. You can make this work. Yeah.
We'll connect it to the contact build retrieve for now.
All right. One of the comm units activate, and an ID attached to that comm unit activates, and So Duck will then transfer that particular phone number to you. To this Mixer.
Well, you can let them know we'll be in touch soon.
Sure, not a problem.
Are you doing all right, Doc?
Well, I just got kidnapped and fell out of a helicopter, but I was picked up by these individuals, and so this is the debt I'm paying because, yes, I'm doing fine.
Oh. Well, come see me when you can.
I will. If I can remember where that was at. Nancy mutes it and says, I will give him directions.
Great, thank you.
And then he looks back to the two of you in our AR and goes, okay, well, that was good. Opportunity for work. My debt's paid. But you can always ask. I will give you free water at any time.
Thanks, Duck.
I appreciate that a lot.
Also, you know, man, if I got no scrap metal laying around. I could probably put some together for like a basic shelter. I mean, it ain't gonna be as nice as that container you had, but I'm sure we can get something going for you. That's at least temporary.
I appreciate that. Mostly I need to get my bike fixed so I can, keep doing what I do. So.
Oh yeah, I can probably fix it. I can probably take care of that for you.
All right, you guys make it back. Do you have anything else you want to do before you get back to the?
I don't think so. I don't.
All right. Well, maybe we should take a break.
All right, last chance for NPCs, my Emerald Glitchers. Don't forget to drop hashtag RemPC into the chat for your chance to win the Shadowrun 6e core rulebook. If you subscribe to Gen Con TV today, that's an additional 7 entries into this. Shadowrun is an incredible game. It is my first and favorite TTRPG. And so this is your chance to dive in. Very crunchy. It's wonderful. I love it so much. Also, donate NERPs. I need to refill my edge. Thanks.
Can I just ask, what does a summoning tea kettle look like?
Oh, a summoning tea kettle. It is made out of cast iron that has been painted ritually with symbols in blood, obviously, that are then coated
Obviously.
and shellacked over so that they don't flake off, that way it can last for centuries. And we use a nice clear coat though, so you can see them quite nice, quite clear. We mix in with the blood, we mix in the iridescent paint, so it gives us a nice little beautiful shimmer, especially as it heats up. And as you heat it up, that's where the magic happens, because that is when all of the symbols start to glow and get bright and beautiful. And as the tea kettle whistles, that is the summoning ritual complete.
If you have an interest in using the summoning tea kettle, or taking part in any of the other worlds in our games, you don't have to have experience. Just join our Discord, and the GMs will work with you and help you find a game you enjoy. The link is in the chat.
Ready to level up your cosplay game? Check out the Geek Forge on Etsy. With a variety of props to give your photos that extra spark, you'll find just what you need. Hold magical fire in the palm of your hand, or take a potion to restore your mana. With a large variety of colors, you can choose your own magical flavor for your cosplay. Bring drama to your photo shoots with these vibrant props and more, all available at the Geek Forge. Are you ready to level up your cosplay?
She says spell like 92 times. Spell, 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 spell,
You get to play with us now, which is so exciting. So with channel points, bits, and subscribes, you can give rewards to the player of your choice. So how to do that is, no, not Bob. Channel points, I believe it is 500 points, gets you NERPs, which is +3 to any dice roll to the player of your choice. For 1,000 channel points, you can do a point of edge to any player. And for 2,500 channel points, you can do 4 edge to the player of your choice. Now for bits, for 100 bits, that's $1, you can do the NERPs. For 200 bits, that's $2, you can do the point of edge. Or for 500 bits, that's $5, get 4 edge to give to the player of your choice. And finally, again, the subs, if you subscribe, you can give 4 edge to any player.
All right, welcome back to Emerald Glitch. Just one last reminder to get your hashtag RemPC into the chat for your chance to win the Shadowrun Core rulebook. It's a great rulebook. You should get it, and you should put in a hashtag RemPC. Don't forget. We're going to be jumping right back in before we announce the winner, so stay tuned.
Wait, there's more? I thought we were done. God damn it. Okay, fine. Getting back to the warehouse, getting back to your workshop. By now, it's getting closer to the time. The noonday alarm sounds, letting everybody know, hey, the rain's about to come in. The smell is in the air. The burst of energy coming from the large weather tower begins sending out its waves through the air, creating vaporous clouds that immediately start turning dark and start racing across the area of Seattle, going up underneath the Emerald City and heading straight toward your location. You pull in through the side streets and through the barricades showing that this is supposed to be some sort of construction zone, and you pull into your secret workshop.
No, at this point, Duck is still with us.
Yes, unless you dropped him off.
I couldn't see any reason to, since Convoy offered the house.
To help out?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now, Convoy, what are you looking to put together for Duck? I'm speaking to Convoy privately.
Okay.
Oh man, I got some sheet metal back here. I figure I can get a lean-to going. Just something to, keep him out of the rain when he wants.
Okay. How do you feel about this new fixer? I know it's not going to be the same as Steel Tigers.
Well, no. Here's what I reckon. I reckon we give it a chance, right? Like, we know Duck's good.
No,
Duck deals with decent people, as far as we know, right? So, I reckon we get the job. We check it out, and if it's not gonna work, we don't do it. Right? No harm, no foul. We gave it a shot, but there's a chance. Might need to eat. Milk run. Who knows?
Fair. I mean, if you're talking about smaller jobs here, little milk runs, but I've been thinking about this mama bird thing, and it sounds like we could use that pretty well.
Yeah, I think we could. I mean, I'd like to get. I mean, if we could get the package, I can retrofit it, right? But it's that, or we just got to get the new in, and I can probably get it secondhand. It's hard to beat that 5-finger discount.
Our goal is going to check Nova's bank account.
She's got a decent amount of cash.
Now listen, if we just pull together, knowing that he has considerably less in the bank account, we just pull together. I'm thinking that we've got this. Kind of nudging over to Nova.
She'll just shake her head. No.
All right. At the very least, we know that Duck is good. Let's go ahead and start figuring out a spot for Duck. I would almost offer my spot in the subway, but I I I don't like sharing. Um,
Well, I mean,
yeah,
Duck's. I
let's
mean,
see what we got.
Duck's got a place, man. Like he ain't got a, he ain't got a shelter, but he's got a home already.
That was very profound of you, Convoy. But like, where does he sleep? Does he need to sleep? He's a drone. Well, not a drone, but he's.
I imagine
He
going to
and
rest mode.
he and Willie are both drones.
Both drones. Okay. Had to
They
make sure.
both can have someone jump into them. Right now, they are both on their own piloting programs, up and moving around. So, by all technical means, Duck is a drone being guided by its programming that has somehow provided it where he's at now. And this is not the first time you've run across a drone of Duck's caliber. If you guys remember the drone you found in the junkyard.
Now, I know that you're looking to find some software for Willie.
Mm-hmm.
What are the odds that we can find some practical software for Doc? I know that he's good at selling beverages, and that's absolutely what he does well.
Oh yeah, I reckon there's got to be something we can make work. No offense, Duck, but it should be a little easier to find programming for you. You're an older model, but it's.
I was under the impression this is a private conversation between the two of you, so Duck
you're
can't
right,
hear
it's-
this.
That's right. So I reckon Duck is probably a little older model, so that's got its own issues, but he's definitely not as advanced as Willie, which is the issue I'm running into. You know, Willie's like state of the art and came with its own programming that we were not able to take with us.
Our Cole finding his heart a little bit over these last few, finding magic episodes. He looks over to Duck and kind of invites him in on the conversation. Duck, how would you feel about being able to do more than sell beverages?
Like what?
We're currently in the market for just general operating systems for Willie. What was it exactly, Convoy, that we're looking for Willie to be able to do?
Well, I mean, do you ever need to defend yourself, Duck?
I have a tendency to mostly run and towards Steel Tiger if bad things happen.
No, that's good instinct. That's good instinct.
Very, very good.
I
I
mean,
second that hard.
But like we could upgrade your maneuvering system.
Well, I don't even have a maneuvering autosoft.
Well, there we go. See, that seems
Oh,
like a good start.
my. I don't know what to say. I've not had an upgrade in some time since the factory shut down.
You know what? Do you mind if I can I give you a tune-up? Sorry, it's a very private thing to ask, I guess, but
No one's asked me that in quite some time. Of course, I would love one. I've not had an opportunity to have anything checked over or any repairs done. I've just been maintaining and getting by, and he shows you some duct tape wrapped around one of his limbs, to kind of hold things together, bandages and whatnot. The appearance of clothing pretty much is just a variety of things that have been wrapped around him to keep things from falling off. His hard plastic body has long since worn out, and a lot of him has been replaced with banged out sheets of metal to just kind of give an outer covering. He still has that duck-like appearance.
all right. Well, this is going to be a lot of work, Duck. It's going to be a lot of work, and I got to ask you. This is going to be a big question. Are you attached to the Duck physique?
It is all I've ever known. If I could keep the bill at least, and the top hat.
Okay, yeah, no problem. That we can do. But if it's all right, I'd like to smooth out some areas so it's a little easier to build, because that would require some bending of metal and some really retrofitted pieces, some specifically well-made pieces, and it would take a little bit more work. But I can make this looking better for sure.
The words escape me. I don't know what to say. He'll walk over toward one of the tables. He'll take his top hat off, which, by the way, is real. It is a felt top hat, tattered, worn, and he will hand it to Arcole and say, "Here." And then he'll climb up onto the work table and lay down. I mean, that's how you work on drones, you know. And so this is to stab deep into Arcole. He sits there and goes, as he's laying down onto the bench, "It's been quite some time since I've done a power cycle. I'm going to go to sleep now. Goodbye." And he shuts down.
Sweet dreams, Duck.
Our Cole is holding this top hat and seeing the commonality between him shutting down and you know my PMax and just doesn't really know what to do with himself. Talking to Convoy, he says you're putting back the same, like we're not changing any part of his mind, right? Like he's staying as is. Like he's still going to be Duck, right?
I'll tell you what, Arcole, I don't think there is that is not my wheelhouse, as they say. These drones that have acquired these personalities and sentience, they're it's a willpower question, right? It's not up to me to change it. I'm just gonna fix up this paneling, right?
Okay.
Maybe grease some of these gears, because he hasn't. Let's just say Duck has not taken a self-care day in a minute.
No, that's fair. If we were to do the same to any of his auto softs, or applying and you know, movement auto softs, nothing's going to change about him, right?
No, the auto softs that we'd be putting in would be it. I mean, you can put in auto softs to his main operating system, but we're not changing the main operating system. We have to morph the auto softs so that they work with the operating system, right? Like we can't. It's not going to be overtake unless we're wiping the operating system, which wouldn't do us any good, right? Like I don't know what that would do to a drone like Duck or Willy. Actually, I know what it would do with Willy. Willy would be like Willy just came out of the box again. But with Duck, Willy was made that way.
Willy pops in and goes, "Actually, I have a backup system that keeps stuff like this from being wiped out. It's actually a required factory setting reset that takes and deletes that. In the meantime, no matter how many power outages, burnouts, or anything that I might experience, my core memory is not destroyed."
That's some good information. That's great.
Out of character question. Would Arcole know where he can like potentially store a copy of Duck?
Yeah. Yeah. It's going to take a hot minute to copy Duck and store him somewhere. But once you copy him and store him, he is a copy of that given moment. Anything that happens after that moment is no longer part of that version of Duck. But yeah, that could happen.
I think that in this moment, that's what our call would do.
Cool.
He says, Convo, I know that
Computers
you were about
plus
to work on
logic.
Yeah, that's always
Keep
good.
talking,
Good
sir.
idea. That's always a good idea to do a backup, man. I wasn't gonna touch any of his main programming, but it can't hurt.
Excellent. Duck's software, his what do they call those? Drivers. His AutoSoft and drivers are roughly about 40 years old. And then your brain clicks in, and you remember, what other person around this place has got 40-year-old cyber tech and drivers? You start looking at some of the data and the information ahead of you, and she's already stepped out. She's already headed home. She's gone. But all the drivers that is on her cyberware are the same kind of drivers and whatnot that run Duck. And hers are fresh from 40 years ago. No degradation of data, no nothing. They are top of the line. And she recently did an upgrade, so those old drivers are still there. All the old programming. And since you've already had experience with it, it's not hard for you to go ahead and generate a copy of Duck, set it off to one side gently, and he is, by all technical means, preserved.
Okay. Then our call would feel all right with anything else. If I know that we don't currently have the autosofts to be able to apply to them.
I mean, in a pinch, he could. I like Duck. I mean, in a pinch, he could hop on my RCC and borrow them. But that connection will degrade over distance. So when I'm nearby, sure.
Hopefully he wouldn't be in too much danger while he's away from you. Also, this is just to cement the fact that our Cole clearly cares more about AI than human life. I'm just we need to make sure that later on, I know not now, but that he's okay whenever he's not around us.
Duck seems to do just fine.
I know you can only I know that he's been around for some time, but you can only get so far running. And I have to be quite honest, I'm a little bit scared about him being around us. But if he's going to be, which a possibility, then I think he should be outfitted with whatever we have.
All right. Well, like I said, he can borrow it, but without the new yen, there's not much I can do to add it to his personal.
Willie comes over with some digital icons floating near him. I took a moment to go ahead and start looking up where we can purchase older model autosofts and stuff based on what you guys are talking about. And he starts showing some price listings and stuff like that. They're generally 3 and 4 times the price value because they're older autosofts and older driver sets and stuff like that. And he says, I'm not skilled enough to do any programming, but I imagine you and your PMAX might be able to do something with some of this older code once we have some copies of it. And he shrugs, But then again, I don't know how all that works. I just have assumptions.
Okay.
Oh, he says, if we're going to give Duck things, we have some extra stuff laying around that we might just have a good field day of putting in him.
Yeah, well,
And he's
what we
like,
got?
look, he goes over and he's, let's see, didn't you have gecko gloves? Who had the gecko gloves? Was that Steel Tiger?
I think it may have been SD.
Or Nova. Nova might have had
Or was it one of the crates? I think it was in one of the crates.
It was in one of the crates.
So he pulls out the pair of gecko gloves and says, we could modify these so that he could have them as part of his thing. So he could grab a hold of things better. He's like, because Willie's trying to figure out what you guys are talking about helping. Willie's meant to help. So now he's trying to help by saying, look, I've looked stuff up and we can put stuff on, even if it's useless in the degree of what Duck is supposed to do. This is really a child trying to figure out how to fit into with the rest of you guys.
Thanks, Willie. That's, you know what? That's a great idea. We'll see if he is into that. You know what you can do for me, Willie? Okay,
What's that?
You remember the junk pile of iron?
Yes.
Okay, I want you to find a piece about yay big by yay big. Can you find one of those for me?
Yes, I can. And he immediately turns off and starts heading toward the junk pile. So
It's best. He likes to help. It's best if you give him a task.
No, I understand. Got to keep him busy.
keep him busy. All right. So we're going to say that Grouse points out that you do that since Nova is part of the pan, he could copy one of the old drivers and the two of y'all could start tearing apart one of the old drivers. Because the way you guys code now, 40 years ago, coding was done a little bit differently. Because right now, coding involves a lot of technomancer stuff. It didn't back then. And so you guys have that you could work on. Convoy, you've got Willie you could start putting together. Convoy, you have Duck you can start putting together. And Willie's more than happy to help. Brandy's off driving. So, everybody's at this point busy doing their stuff and whatnot. And Steel Tiger is still in hiatus. So I think this is a good time to call it. I think we've got to a nice settled down point in the game. I normally award 3 to 5 karma. You guys just got through some pretty cool phone action. There was some, exciting moments and whatnot. And so I feel like awarding 4 karma is really on par with tonight. Beginning of next game session, we're gonna have a refresh to everything. And maybe you guys will choose to reach out to that fixer and pick up a new job. Maybe they have something easy, like a milk run. Maybe they don't. But we need some money if you're going to finish that big job. So, let's give away. Let's give that new yen, yes. So, who won tonight?
Yes, we do have a winner from the hashtag RunPC. Our winner tonight is Bree-Lee95. You are going to get a Shadowrun 6th edition core rulebook. Again, that's Bree-Lee95. Make sure you keep your Twitch whispers open so we can figure out how to get that to you.
Yeah. All right. So, had a really good game. It was a lot high and it comes down and it goes up. I liked it a lot. So, we meet again next week on the 22nd. We got an idea these two are going to be here. Tara's doing it. Techno Siren's going to be back, so that'll be fun. And we'll see what happens next. Do we want to plug anything? Yeah, let's plug Rough Magic.
Yeah.
Rough Magic is amazing.
Which already plugged during the interview, but please go right ahead.
Oh, great. Wonderful. Yeah, Sarah is one of our wonderful game masters at roughmagicgames.com. If you want to play games like Bree Lee, you want to learn how to play Shadowrun, you got the core rulebook, wouldn't it be great if you had some people to play with? Guess what? You can hire one of our game masters to play Shadowrun. Check us out at roughmagicgames.com.
Yeah, I'm also one of their game masters, so if you like what I do, definitely come over and check them out over there. Hook me up. I'll run a game online. It'll be great fun.
Also, finally saw it today. After all this time talking about it, that website is pristine. That is a beautiful website.
Oh yeah, yeah. When I was setting up my in-person events, and I showed it to the program manager at the Dart Bar where I'm doing my event, she goes, "Wow, that's really professional." I was like, "I know, right? We're professionals."
We are professionals.
We
and
are
the website's
professionals.
gonna get a slight makeover. It's gonna be even easier to use very soon.
Oh,
We're
snap.
updating our booking system, so it's a lot easier to find what you're looking for.
I like that. All right. Again, if you like what we do, reach out to Rough Magic. Otherwise, Alternis is another place we like to hang out. And of course, I'm Max from Original Box Set. I want to thank you for joining us tonight, and you all have a wonderful night.